100K, remain solid.
Young Will drip too much flavor.
DJ on the beat, so it's a bang.
Y'all niggas ain't built like that. We gon' slide, you right back. Niggas steady woofing, nigga, we outside, where y'all at? Y'all niggas ain't built like that. Niggas pussy, they be shook. Niggas come around with all they jewelry on, they get it took. Y'all niggas get killed like that. Got me sliding out. These niggas be hiding out. Don't let me find out. Y'all niggas get dealt like that. Niggas ain't shoot no poles. Man, these niggas straight hoes. Wherever I go, they go. Wherever I point, they blow. My shorties don't go for show. Drop below, they get exposed. Handguns, they ain't for show. Y'all better check the scope. Fuck all my ops, they gone. And if we get that drop, them Glocks right to his dome. And boy, I don't need no crowd, I'm creeping where he sleeping. That 10 hit him to the floor and send him right to Jesus. And that bitch take a switch, bullets be like keto. Pull up toothpaste squeezing. If I tell y'all lay, y'all mean it. Thirst for a body, I'm fiending. And I got mops, I ain't cleaning. Sipping on walk, I'm leaning. Fuck a hoe, she screaming. Like T-Word, wop a demon. Get back, it got a meaning. If I tell you I love you, I mean it. Nigga, this vine, you know I'm swinging. Y'all niggas ain't built like that. We gon' slide, you right back. Niggas steady woofing, nigga, we outside, where y'all at? Y'all niggas ain't built like that. Niggas pussy, they be shook. Niggas come around with all they jewelry on, they get it took. Y'all niggas get killed like that. Got me sliding out. These niggas be hiding out. Don't let me find out. Y'all niggas get dealt with that. Niggas ain't shoot no poles. Man, these niggas straight hoes. Wherever I go, they go.
Fuck just about the money and clout. It's like third quarter song, they play FYB in the game or something though.
Pull up, drop the window, nigga, bad. Shots fat, man down on the outside. Walk up, do you roll, ain't no drive bass. Fourth quarter, last shot with the game tag.
And you gon' fold under pressure, pussy, stop lying. The ops always talking shit, but they keep dying. And you ain't turn up for your homies, nigga, stop lying. And when it's up, that bitch is up there, we gon' keep sliding, bitch.
Pull up, drop the window, nigga, bad. Shots fat, man down on the outside. Walk up, do you roll, ain't no drive bass. Fourth quarter, last shot with the game tag. No rap beef, we clap heat, take the stash seat. We out shopping with the Draco in the backseat. I'm dead Fisher in his prime with this packed heat. Back shots for any nigga to be an athlete. Archie Gainer, Tuckerville, I got mob ties. 4 O's, 4 fast, we don't tote ass. We bloodthirsty off them pills with them frog ass. We BDK as fuck the ops and plus we tap fast. Pour up, drop the window, nigga, bad. Shots fat, man down on the outside. Walk up, do you roll, ain't no drive bass. Fourth quarter, last shot with the game tag.
And you gon' fold under pressure, pussy, stop lying. The ops always talking shit, but they keep dying. And you ain't turn up for your homies, nigga, stop lying. And when it's up, that bitch is up there, we gon' keep sliding, bitch.
Like some fucking hockey pucks, all we do is slide. If you ain't turn up for the gang, stop merging it on the gas. Niggas, bitches, Tyler Perry's, pussies in disguise. Shoot your block, I'll spit 3 times just like some curly fries. No, I'm not no fucking rapper, I'm a grave digger. Big FYB the great, feel like I made niggas. $5,000 dog, cause I'm a paid nigga. I got kicked out by the school for cracking trays, nigga.
Pour up, drop the window, nigga, bad. Shots fat, man down on the outside. Walk up, do you roll, ain't no drive bass. Fourth quarter, last shot with the game tag.
And you gon' fold under pressure, pussy, stop lying. The ops always talking shit, but they keep dying. And you ain't turn up for your homies, nigga, stop lying. And when it's up, that bitch is up there, we gon' keep sliding, bitch.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I was talking. But in the words of Nas, Calico's roast y'all folks. Keep y'all dying. Because it's hard to fuck around when you dealing with science. We Japanese still. You getting cooked in front of your family like a Japanese meal. It's y'all shoot the hibachi and none of you niggas can stop me. But can't help but watch me. As promised, we here. We back. And we're going to be dealing with Teo's video. I still haven't had a chance to even watch it in its entirety. So I'm going to have fresh eyes on this video and listen to the Decepticons watch these people deceive and try to keep their money in the house, you know what I'm saying? Protect their pockets. That's what it's all about. You know, they got a lot of patrons, so, you know, they're making money off of this thing. So they don't want to, you know, give up the race hustle. You know, look at Jesse Jackson. How long has Jesse Jackson been around, man? How long has he benefited off of race hustling? So they're trying to race hustle as well. And trying to play on the emotions of African Americans. You know, they're not dealing with scholarship. They're not dealing with anything but, you know, race hustling, you know, fear mongering. That's it. Tell the people, oh, the world going in. Give me all your money. If the world going in, what you need my money for? Anyway, so with that being stated, before we get into tonight's show, and I hate to add something else, but the shooter, you know what I'm saying, the main shooter, who just dropped a video, and it may be pertinent to tonight's discussion. You understand? You understand tonight's beatdown of these pseudos, right? These vaginals, these pussies, these dudes that are afraid to stand up, man, and you know, stand up like a man and debate these things, man. These dudes are running like cowards. I even seen Jabari run from Garfield today. I was like, oh my God, it must be infectious. It must be something in the air. It might be airborne. Like, is cowardice just, you know, the norm? Like, so many people, so many of you guys are pussy, man. You're afraid to stand up man to man and debate.
Or is it Hillary? In fact, they won't touch this kind of topic. They would like to have some buffoon on who knows nothing about the topic that they can make fun of. But if somebody actually knows what they're talking about, no desire to have a conversation with that guy. And this, I'm afraid, also extends to intellectual academic debate. Professors, I don't name names, but it's true in general, are scared to debate. They say things, but they won't stand up behind them. They rely on their own hospitable crowd of well-wishers to endorse what they say, amplify it. They want Michael Moore to make a movie on it, and they want to be in the New York Review of Books. But they won't stand up man to man in intellectual debate and allow their ideas to be tested.
You won't stand up man to man in an intellectual debate and allow your ideas to be tested. And you'll just rest on your laurels. That's it. You'll rest on your laurels and, you know, hide behind your well wishes. We outside, Abu outside. Abu been trying to shoot your fucking biscuit off, man. He been trying to make an omelet out your egg, man. He been trying to fry your shit. He been trying to Osaka cook your shit, man. He been on that. And y'all been running from him. You guys have been spreading propaganda about this man. And it only shows your cowardice. That's it. It just shows how cowardly you guys are. And how you guys know for a fact. That's why y'all try to run interference when he's on Berean TV. You try to send, you know, your dummy, your crash test dummy out there to get on the show and try to interrupt everything he says so his message will not be, you know, seen or heard by the viewers. Interrupt the man in the middle of his speech so he can't get the message out. The video, while in the middle of the video, you want to get on and give a spiel. We shouldn't be doing it. No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We got a guest on this channel, and Berean need to be like that. I have a particular guest on this channel. This is his show. Like I did with Darvin's. Like, this is his show. So he gonna run it the way he need to run it. He gonna get his material off, and then if he wants you motherfuckers to come on and say what y'all gonna say, it's gonna be at the end of the presentation, not in the middle of it. Y'all running interference because you're afraid of what that man is saying. You're afraid of Abu. And you know Abu just dismantles all your talking points because he's so logical, he's so analytical. And y'all can't stand in front of that heat, man. Y'all can't stand in front of that heat, man. So before we get into the actual show, I'm gonna squeeze this video in here and see what Abu talking about. I haven't seen it myself, so we'll see. Maybe it's something that's pertinent. Maybe it's something that will go along with tonight's show.
Greetings. I was browsing the posts in a forum on Facebook, which is known as the Biblical Rumble Room, and I noticed that a couple different people had shared a new video from the We Woke Now channel titled "Woke: Man Shares the Truth About His Lineage." Now, as a disclaimer, the gentleman who made the video, which is to say the gentleman who runs the We Woke Now channel, did not himself post this video to the Rumble Room, as he himself is not a participant in the Rumble Room.
Let me say this, brother Abu. I've been invited to jump in the Rumble Room. I'm not jumping in the Rumble Room. I'm just being real with you.
But as a couple other people apparently thought the video was a good one and shared it to the Rumble Room, it seemed worthwhile to check the video out. And as luck would have it, the video is a mere 26 seconds long. So if we wanted to watch the video in its entirety together right now, it honestly wouldn't take up too much of our time. So let's consider this video, as I think this might provide us with an opportunity to have a brief yet fun discussion about the basics of proper methodology. So here's the video.
There's only one true ethnic Jew, the Mizrahi Jew, because they are Africans, and if you read the original Bible written in Phoenician Hebrew, they're not. Jewish people are not Europeans. The modern Jews in Israel are Russians from Khazars, to be precise, from Russia. I learned it from my grandfather that he was an Ashkenazi Jew.
And that was it. There wasn't any actual argument presented there. Rather, it's just some random guy saying that he has an Ashkenazi grandfather and citing that grandfather as his source of information for all Jewish lineages across millennia. You know, personally, I think it could be helpful if we started with an agreed upon definition of Jew, which we could then use to measure the claims being made. You know, it wasn't even clear what definition the young man was working with, much less how he determined who did or did not fit that definition. But hey, he was saying something that people like, so maybe that was good enough. Now, in all fairness to our friend over at the We Woke Now channel, the good doctor did not explicitly present this video as some sort of serious argument. Honestly, maybe he was just having a little fun, right? But it is worth noting that others seem to consider it to constitute a serious argument. For example, one gentleman who shared the video in the Rumble Room identified himself as a professional educator and then shared his view as a professional educator that this video is employing what's known as a primary source. You know, that young man recounting something which his grandpa might have said was employing a primary source on not only his own lineage across millennia, but so too the lineages of millions of other people across millennia. And you can see that comment, right there on your screen. The gentleman wrote the following, quote, "Last I checked, as a professional educator, a primary source is a valid source of research data. An Ashkenazi relaying historical data from his still living grandfather who knows where his folk are from counts as a primary source," end quote.
And my bad, Abu. But it's just infuriating what they do and these tactics they do to keep their dogma alive. But what I will say on this portion here is that this same guy, Craig Addison, will he say the same if Ashkenazi Jew affirms that they are actual Jews, real Jews, that date back to the Iron Age, will he say, "Oh, that's a primary source"? So yeah, that's actual valid a source of research data. No, he won't. These guys have a double standard. All these guys have double standards, man. On all sides, WHI, BHI, you name it. ABOs, they got double standards. They try to set these arbitrary rules that only apply when it works in the favor of their dogmatic point of view. That's it. Because if I was to comment on Craig Addison's video or post and say, hey, well, there are plenty of Jews that affirm that they actually are there, and they get that from their forefathers. As a matter of fact, some of them affirm they go back to David. So since we're going off of people's affirmations, remember I said this a long time ago, affirmation is not confirmation, but since that's a valid source, air quotes, then why doesn't it work for the positive like you're trying to use it for the negative? That this is idiocy, man. This is hypocrisy displayed on the screen.
Quote. Now, I have to wonder, would this same standard apply if a person was saying the exact opposite and citing their anonymous grandfather as the source of that information? For example, imagine if the video went something like this. Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Quick public service announcement. I just want to say that all the Ashkenazim, their lineages go back to Yaakov Avinu, the patriarch Jacob in the Bible. And how do we know this? Because mein Zaidi hat mir gesagt. My Zaidi, my grandpa, he told me. So that settles it, doesn't it? That's it. Argument over, right? What do you know about research? Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and guess that there might not be as much insistence on that sort of statement employing a quote-unquote primary source, right? My guess is that we wouldn't be expected to take such a testimony too seriously. And look, while admittedly we're having a bit of fun here, in all seriousness, for anyone who felt that video should be taken seriously, let's put it this way. If the tacit rule being employed is an Ashkenazi grandpa is correct when he says something I like and is incorrect when he says something I don't like, if that's your rule of thumb, then honestly, you aren't really referencing that anonymous grandpa at that point. Rather, you're really just referencing your own presuppositions. And now, as a disclaimer, in case anyone wonders if this video, which you're currently watching right now, is intended as some sort of a defense of the position that most or even all Ashkenazim descend from the biblical Jacob, the answer is no, at least not if we mean, patrilineal descent. And some viewers should already be familiar with my position on that question. But for those who don't, who aren't familiar with my position, feel free to ask me in the comment section and I'll share some relevant links and, maybe have a nuanced discussion with you. But if one is going to have a serious discussion on this sort of topic, they need to be clear on their definitions and their methods, right? I'd certainly be willing to discuss such with others, but for now, I'll just say that in the absence of clear definitions and coherent methodology, perhaps all one can do is shrug their shoulders when seeing these sorts of declarations. Food for thought. And on that note, I hope you found this brief video fun. I certainly had fun making it. And, as always, I look forward to, I welcome any comments or questions or even criticisms. I don't censor anyone here. So feel free to share your thoughts, whether positive or negative. And with that, I say God bless.
Man, I gotta stop running from him, man.
My Zaidi, my grandpa, he told me. So that settles it, doesn't it? That's it. Argument over, right? What do you know about research?
Abu, man. Why y'all running from Abu, man? Stop running from him, man. You know what? I need to go back to his older videos when he was beefing with Kelly and just, recast him on the show. I title it Glock Party, Abu's Glock Party, and just go through all his old refutations of you guys, just to tee you guys off even more. Because Abu, I think he's got a large selection of videos of just him just laying a smackdown on you guys, man. I told you guys that Abu was the Alonzo of the community. Yeah, what do you know about research? Yeah, that would be a good clip. All right. So I guess I'm waiting on Avery and Sean and whoever else was going to come on tonight and review this clip, man. Click that link. Let me go to Teo's Teotw Ministries on YouTube. All right, here we go. And let's deal with it. Let's see what these guys have to say. Again, like I haven't seen this video in its entirety. I saw bits and pieces, but I really don't know everything that was said. So we're about to see. We got the savant from the Levant in the building. What's going on?
Shalom, shalom. Sorry I was late. I was always watching, but I was also on Clubhouse getting people over here. Everybody should pour in here in a minute. But yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. Is James gonna come? Because I know they mentioned him, and I like to hear James's response to some of the things that they said. Is he coming? Or?
I don't know. I don't know, but the link's in the comments. You can see it. He might be busy, but I'm pretty sure he's in the audience.
All right. But yeah, I'm ready if you are.
Salama family, Salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. Today we have a presentation.
Salami, because this is all swine.
You say hi to
pigs.
Greetings, family. Salama, how y'all doing today? So we're gonna talk about the Yap Gang. We're gonna talk about the cult of Eve. Minister Tate.
Yeah, so you know, we gonna give them a little attention. We're gonna give them a little attention because they need a little help, right? If you notice.
So we're a cult. We're a cult, right? You know, we're a cult. But I don't have 334 patrons, you know, giving me potentially $2,000 to $4,000 a month. I don't have that. I don't have the large following that you guys have. I don't have none of those things. I don't have people hinging on my every word just because I said it. I actually tell people to go read these papers themselves. To get the research papers, we give you the sources. Unlike you guys, y'all don't even cite some of the stuff y'all say. And y'all butchering, you doctor sources. You doctor information. That's very cult-like. And if anybody tries to challenge you, you try to demonize them. And then you try to spread propaganda against them. Abu is clearly on an assignment. Avery's he's a white man. And scholastic bully. Yashub is a heathen. He don't even believe in the Bible. That's called poisoning the well. This is what cult leaders do. That's what y'all do, man. What we're doing is critiquing your shit and putting it under the magnifying glass and putting you dudes on blast. Why? Because we actually represent scholarship. We actually represent science, right? You just want to push your dogma, and you have a cash incentive to do so.
Facts. And what's interesting, you know, like you said, they're trying to call us a cult, but they are the ones that blocked us, so we can't even respond to them. Isn't that cult-like? Don't cult leaders want their audience, want their members to only listen to them and not hear other people?
Facts.
Like they're keeping their people in this cage, kind of like their ancestors may have did to our people. But anyways, they're keeping their members in this cage and this echo chamber where they can't hear any other opinions. And they're afraid to debate us, which goes to show you that they're the real cult members, because cult leaders never want to debate. They never want to be interviewed by other people who have opposing views, because as soon as we start poking holes in your talking points face to face, you're going to start losing members. And we've been asking these guys to talk to us, to debate us publicly, but they don't want to do it. So that kind of goes to show you who's an actual cult leader. And also, like Yeshua said, if anybody disagrees with them, they're completely thrown out of the group. Sean was one of their mods on the channel. He had a wrench and everything. He was good friends with them. But as soon as Sean started to see another method of proving that we're Israel, and that's all we're using with DNA, just showing another method, he was completely thrown out. Anybody that disagrees with them is completely thrown out and trash talked. And the thing is, Teo and them are wrong about what they're saying. So not only are people thrown out, they're thrown out because they're wrong. But I don't want to extend this too long. So
Yeah, ostensibly wrong. Like you're like obviously wrong. There's no way around it. You're wrong about that map that you guys keep trying to say is sub-Saharan Africa, saying Israel's a sub-Saharan Africa. You're wrong about that.
not
Yeah.
man enough to admit it.
Yeah. Right? You're wrong. You're wrong about those things. Like you're wrong saying that, oh, if you black, you're Israel. You wrong. Skin color doesn't determine ancestry, let alone deep ancestry. You're trying to use it as a specific identifier of people and connecting them to ancient peoples. That's sure it is. See, and like I said, that goes back to what? That goes back to you guys being race hustlers. You guys are race hustlers, man.
I'm glad this new David Wright paper came out because they're trying to use skin color to prove that, the Israelites are black and, therefore we're Israelites. Guess what, Teo? Everybody was once black or dark skinned in the past. Everybody. Even middle bronze age Canaanites were dark to black skinned, according to genetic papers. Like, is every dark skinned person an Israelite because they have a lot of melanin? Is Chatterman an Israelite? Or Australian Aborigines, Israelites, they have dark skin. What about the Dravidians in India? They have dark skin. What about pygmies? They have dark skin and they're in Africa. Is everybody black an Israelite? Like, skin color can't be used. It can't be the only method used to prove that you're an Israelite. There's tons of dark skinned people alive today, and there was even more dark skinned people alive in the past because there's only like 1% light skinned people according to the David Wright paper. So make up your mind, bro.
Yeah. Those are just a few things you guys are you're wrong about autosomal DNA. We've schooled you guys on autosomal DNA over and over again. Challenge you guys for a formal debate. You don't want to do that. You understand? Your crash test dummy. Say it again, Avery.
Cowards,
man. But that's okay. That's what the Scholastic Bully here is to do. I'm gonna put cases on all you bitches, man. I'm gonna put cases on all you.
Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
And it is what it is. All right. You guys are wrong about the slave ship thing. Everybody got off of slave ships are Israelite. First of all, you can't prove that your male ancestors got off a slave ship. You can't prove that.
Right. Where are the slave records that prove that you came off a ship? That is a good question because I actually have family records that prove, I descend from slaves.
And slave ships are not gene transforming machines. When you step on a slave ship, it doesn't automatically make you or deem you an Israelite. That's something you made up in this BHI coach you got.
That is a good question. We know for a fact that certain groups like pygmies were in the slave trade. Like we have people with haplogroup A and B. Are pygmies Israelites?
Abuski. This man right here, man, he said Teo is going to clip Avery said everyone was dark and nasally declare he contradicted himself again, family. If everyone was dark, then how is G not Israel? But y'all want to follow that.
Oh man, if he does that, Abu. Oh
James, I don't know if they can. Can they prove that their female ancestors are from slaves? We don't know. These dudes probably be haplogroup J1C3 on the mtDNA side, which is European. They haven't shown it. They have not released that to the public. Why not?
The funny thing is they challenged Gap Game to release our DNA. We did, but they can't release their DNA. Now, isn't that cult-like behavior? Isn't that a contradiction? Isn't that hypocritical? We showed our DNA because you asked us to. But you can't show your DNA. Who do you think you are, Teo? You think you're some god or something?
He's a race hustler, man. And here's the thing: when they showed their autosomal components, or at least the one I was privy to see, I couldn't see the European. I only saw the sub-Saharan African components.
Because they cut out and photoshopped their DNA. That's why.
Yeah, but I showed you my entire 23andMe. I showed you my true ancestry and everything. I showed you everything. These dudes are obviously dubious and deceitful people, right? It's like they doctor Clyosof's words. We brought that out. They doctor Clyosof's words that he put in his book and tried to make it seem like haplogroups don't matter. This is what it says right here. No, that book did not say that. You took entire words out of that sentence to make it say what you wanted it to say. Right? You guys are fake, man. And you're a cult. You operate like a cult. You won't even allow people to comment on your YouTube channel with anything that you guys don't like. As soon as they say something that goes against your stance, the comment is automatically removed.
And we have evidence to prove that as well. And that's another good thing. That is a very cult-like behavior. Any opinion that's disagrees with the cult master, the cult leader, completely get rid of it, silence it. They're almost like communists or fascists. Silence anyone that speaks against us. And that's what they do in the comment section. Completely delete your comments. Y'all would love a dystopian world. Y'all would love that. If y'all were in charge, of course.
Well, they are related to Stalin. It makes sense. The USSR.
Go back to Russia, Teo. Go back to Russia.
You know how Stalin liberated people, right? He went over there and killed everybody and said, "You guys are all free." You know, that's who they're related to.
Teotw, the commie cult.
You know, you guys are they're a bunch of commies, man. You know what I'm
silencing the what do you call it? Silencing the well, y'all know the term.
Or silencing any opposition, really.
Oh, yeah, the opposition. That's
right. Yeah. They free to die. You know, in those countries, you can't even challenge the government, man. Like in China, what's that brother's name that went to China? He's got a YouTube channel, but it keeps getting taken down. But even he said, listen, anything political going on in China, we're not allowed to say anything against.
Is he an Israelite?
No, it's just a African American from New York that moved to China.
And his videos keep getting taken down by
YouTube?
like
all I mean, good videos too, like giving his reasons why he moved to China. You know, like he gave every step. You know, when he first got there, he didn't know Mandarin, and he had to learn it, and he gave you the whole experience. They took his channel down and everything. But my point is, they censor so hard over there. They censor hard as hell over there, man. And you know how we have an opinion. You know how people say, you know, forget this, you know, F this president, blase, blase. You can't do that over there, bro. You can't.
Right.
So you're right. They do operate like commies, man. USSR, man. What's going on, Philo Math? I see you in the building.
Yo, shalom.
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 I'm back.
Are you familiar with these guys? Are you familiar with Teotw Ministries?
Yeah, man. We were just exploring some things in the clubhouse just now.
All right, we're gonna watch the cult.
Teotw, the Stalin
mystify their audience.
Funny how they call it a cult of E. They're the cult of money, Patreons, whatever.
If they lives, they don't break 40. They can't even break 1,000 in their videos, but they want that attention. All right. So here's the issue. The issue is they go on people show like Garfield. Garfield's actually accommodating them when in reality he doesn't agree with their science. Both of them admit that it's a hypothesis. And then so there's all this double talk. So we just gonna look at some of their material and we're gonna talk about it. So but as I begin, let me see if I could pull this up. All right. I'm gonna share my PowerPoint. Okay.
Wait, who started the E group? And he's from Charleston, South Carolina. Did y'all see that?
Wait, hold on. Go back.
Are you talking about Darvis?
Go.
He says the one who started the E group. I would like to see how he looks. I believe he is from Charleston.
Oh my goodness. No. They can't be thinking that's Darvis. Oh no.
I don't know who they thinking about, but my life totally, she's always over here. And guess what? My life totally has been able to comment on our channels, even in negative comments, and we don't block her or him or whatever, he or she.
Aren't they talking about Darvis because he's from Charleston?
I don't know. I had no clue.
But no, that Darvis did not start Yap Gang. Yep, we all started. Oh my gosh,
who's from Charleston that started the E group?
They probably try to look into somebody's background.
Look, Darvis quick with it. He said
that wasn't me. I got nothing to do with them, brother.
Hey, nobody in Beaufort started that.
But yeah, everybody that started Yap Gang, none of us are from Charleston. So whoever you looking up, you got it all mixed up. And also, we're not E group, we're Yap Gang. Get it right.
Yeah, I don't know what my life totally, that's why I say, man, these guys that misrepresent us all the time.
Just making up stuff, like, bro.
Okay, family. So we're gonna start here, right?
Do you want to go full screen with that?
Yeah, we could go full screen. All right. Okay. So we're gonna start here, and my goal, I will share this quote every time I talk about the cult of E. All right, because they're shoveling a lot of horse manure, and everybody need to be reminded every now and then that it's horse manure. All right. Now, right.
In other words, to tell you mean they're full of some stuff, huh?
That's it. I'm being nice, right? I'm being nice, right?
Yeah, they
for
full
my
of
audience,
it, right?
right?
They're full of it.
Yeah, you might need a little laxative or something, right? They need a little help.
Some
all right, so let's have a little fun. So anyway, I'm reading this for you guys just to repeat what is common sense among the professionals. Now, these guys are really practicing, trying to become knowledgeable.
The first thing they do is deceive right here.
This nigga was clearly lying.
He said these guys, like this is a group of geneticists. This is Raziv Khan's article, which we've already covered on the channel. And Abu already recasted what we said about this. And this paper does not deny mtDNA and Y chromosomes. It doesn't. It does not tell you that the purpose of mtDNA and Y chromosomes are anything other than tracing maternal and paternal lineages.
And don't you find it's kind of amazing that it's only one geneticist, one out of literally thousands upon thousands in the world, only one geneticist from one article from 2013 they can get from. Like, nobody thinks that's kind of just a little weird and funny. Yeah. One geneticist from 2013 out of thousands of other geneticists and thousands of other articles. This is the best you got, Teo, really? And it doesn't even disprove haplogroups.
Right, doesn't even disprove haplogroups. Abu, you're absolutely correct. They do equate popularity with truth. Oh, why is my channel growing? Why do I have so many members? That's what I used to hear. IUIC, why are we growing? IUIC is growing. IUIC is growing because people are joining. That's simple as that. It's not that you got the truth. If that's the case, then the Christian church has the truth. But y'all,
Judaism.
Y'all talk trash about all of Christianity, all of Catholicism, and there's more Christians in this world than anything else. Where's that map? I gotta hold on. Let me look.
Even Judaism, and that's like the least of the Abrahamic faiths. Even they have more members than BHI.
Yeah, so that means by their logic, they got the truth, and everybody else are liars.
And Muslims. I mean, you can just pull up a map of world religions. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are like the three major religions of the world. Abrahamic faiths, basically.
He said, He said, Avery, if they can twist Khan's words, they can twist any other geneticist words, which they have already.
That's
Clyosol.
true. That's true, Abu. That's
They
true.
they twisted Clyosol's words and said, see, it said geneticists don't regard haplogroups, but when you actually go to the book and the page that they cut that from, it tells you that it's not talking about that. It's talking about when it comes to finding out who are the Ashkenazi Jews, they don't regard haplogroup, haplotype. And he's talking about the specificity. What actual branch does the R1b or R1a in question come from, instead of just saying R1b or R or E? That's what the paper was saying. But they cut some and truncated some of his words out to make it say that, and so they can push their dogma. Because they know nobody in their audience is going to fact check them, man. They know that. All right, so
about DNA, and they read these documents with the wrong lenses on. So
we read the documents with the wrong lenses. I'm going to read this real quick. It said, this is a public service announcement. If you are a user of direct to consumer personal genomic services, please do not pay any attention to your mtDNA and Y chromosome haplogroups. Why? Because they hardly tell you anything about your individual ancestry. Look what they got redlined, right? That's what they want want you to hone in on and focus on, right? And they pretty much truncate the rest of this. So what does he go on and say? What do I mean by this? Your mtDNA comes down from your mother's 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 mother. And similarly, for your Y chromosomal lineage, if you are a male. So the mother side's from your mother's mother's mother, and it's the same thing for the male, just your father's father's father, right? That's the end of the discussion. That's the end of the discussion. Because you guys claim that Y DNA, mtDNA lineages don't do that. But in the paper that you're citing, it contradicts your position.
Interesting. So Razib Khan is saying that mitochondrial DNA is passed down from mother to daughter, mother to daughter, mother to daughter, mother to daughter, and Y chromosomes are passed down from father to son, father to son, father to son. This is what Razib Khan is saying. Interesting. Okay. I just have to make sure I clarify that to the people.
Watch. And then this is the point of the paper. These few individuals are not any more likely to contribute to your ancestry than all those multitudes and multitudes who do not contribute to your mtDNA or Y lineages. Bingo. So this paper is telling you that your direct male lineage and your direct mother line, tracing it all the way back, they only could contribute to 0.01% of your genome. We understand that, but they're still your direct father and direct mother lines. That didn't change. And everybody else are in between. This cuts your doctrine so much because the people that you actually directly descend from don't show as much autosomal DNA as you guys would like. You get most of your autosomal DNA from everybody in between, like a maternal grandfather or a paternal grandmother, so on and so forth. So if anything, this buttresses the claim of mtDNA and Y lineages, not truncated. It says who do not contribute to your mtDNA or Y lineages, right? Like you guys have haplogroup G, that's your Y lineage, right? We don't know your mtDNA, but I'm going to say it's haplogroup H because I think it's European as well.
H or K.
Your autosomal DNA is showing your indirect ancestry as well that you obtained by your direct lineage into breeding with them.
Right.
You don't directly come from those people that you got those autosomes from. That's what this paper is telling you, dumb.
Even in their autosomal DNA, they have a pretty high amount of European. From what I remember looking at, their European was kind of high. It wasn't like they had 1% European or 2% European. They had like over 20% European.
Right. Which they don't really tell you where those regions, they don't show the regions. They don't even show you those data points. Well, let me read this. This is also known as almost all your ancestors. What you should pay attention to are your autosomal results. Why? He just told you, because you get to see all your ancestral lines through your autosomal within a small time window, right? Your Y DNA, your mtDNA is a small lineage, but these are your direct ancestors. Your autosomal shows you it also includes your indirect ancestors. The paper answers itself, and it's not supporting you guys' crazy idea on how DNA works. I should be 50% like Jacob. No, you are not going to be 50% the same autosomally as someone who lived in the Bronze Age, man.
Hold on. Let's actually break down that statement, because they like to say, oh, if you're saying that E is Abraham, how do you know you're not Ishmael? How do you know you're not a Midianite? How do you know you're not an Ammonite? All right, we can use that exact same logic for autosomal DNA. Teo, you believe that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are autosomally 100% sub-Saharan African. And I'm assuming that you also believe Shem, the father of Semites, is also 100% sub-Saharan African. Okay. How do you know you're not an Ishmaelite? How do you know you're not a Midianite? How do you know you're not an Ammonite if everybody is sub-Saharan African? See, we can make that exact same argument like you're trying to do for haplogroups. Same thing you're going to run into.
The double standard.
Double standard, bro. Hypocrites, bro.
And you guys are not autosomally, we're not autosomally the same as ancient Middle Easterners, ancient Near Easterners. We're not. They would have been largely Natufi, Ibero-Mauritian, and Levantine, and Anatolian. That would be the largest, portions of their autosomal makeup.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And we have some of that DNA. We have a little bit of Ibero-Mauritian, and we have a little bit of Natufian DNA. This is why they're good populations to use. Also, these populations were the first to speak Afro-Asiatic languages, but that's a whole nother thing. And guess what? They also had haplogroup E. So, beep, bop, boop.
They attack us. They attack people like Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan is a
never attacked Rajiv.
When did we attack Rajiv Khan?
Never did. Never.
When
Again, liars, bro.
This nigga was clearly lying.
Now we attacking people like Rajiv Khan. Get the hell out of here, man. How about you
guys?
Show
the clip. Show the clip. Show the clip of us attacking Rajiv Khan. Show the clip. I double dare you to show the clip. Find it.
I told you this is nothing but an Uncle Ruckus campaign.
It's Uncle Ruckus, no relation. I want to sing y'all a brand new song I just wrote called Don't Trust Them New Niggas Over There. Sing along if you know the words. Don't trust them new niggas over there, leaving they nigga essence in the air. Them happy, nappy head niggas with the fingers on the trigger. Don't trust them new niggas over there. Don't trust them big nostrils over yonder. They suck up so much air it'll make you wonder. Don't trust them new niggas with their spotty little nigga figures. Don't trust them new niggas over there.
Okay.
They try to do damage control because some people are watching us and like questioning some certain things, and y'all not liking it. Y'all put Plum on blast for what? Because he don't agree with you guys? Because he doesn't believe in your cultic behavior and ways?
I mean, they called him a whole coon. Like, he said that he even sent them a super. He tried to send them a super chat, but he couldn't because they completely like blocked him. Like, daggum.
Yeah, Abu right. They attacked Rabzi Khan. Goes together with they attacked the entire nation of Israel. Right. They always talk about somebody. No, we're attacking you, Teo. We won't smoke with you. Stop trying to defer to someone else. because you're a coward.
Mm-hmm.
All right, watch them botch this because we pretty much read it. It says inferences made from most of your genome. These results may be more difficult to parse, but difficulty is no sin and elegant ease is no virtue. In this case, that's because you are interested in your ancestry, not a convenient interpretable story. Of course, I'm not saying that mtDNA and Y chromosomal haplogroups are useless, like those guys are saying.
Repeat that and say it a little bit louder.
Of course, I'm not saying that mtDNA and Y chromosomal haplogroups are useless. Like Teotw the Vaginal Ministries are saying and claiming.
Interesting. So I am not saying that mtDNA and Y chromosomal haplogroups are useless. He's not saying that haplogroups are useless. He's not saying that Y DNA and mtDNA is not useless. Haplogroups aren't useless. Razi kind of saying this. Okay.
He said, but please don't make inferences about yourself from one data point. And that's the key. He said, look at the autosome. Autosome are going to give you what? Your ethnicity estimate. That's all. But if you want to have your lineage traced, you're going to have to go through the it even calls it Y chromosome lineage. Your mtDNA are Y lineages. It says that. It gives you the purpose of these markers. It doesn't deny that in this paper. You guys are denying it, not the paper. So we're going to listen to these guys botch this up, man.
You got one problem, though, Jake. You got no witnesses. Who your fucking witnesses, huh?
Who are your fucking witnesses, Teo? It's not Razi Khan.
Bert. These guys been studying this for what, a year and a half? Come up with some crazy theories. They tell you it's a theory and then say it's not a theory. See, it's double talk. So anyway.
Pause. I'm sorry.
This is a public service announcement.
But haplogroups aren't a theory. We never said haplogroups are a theory. We never said that. Now, the most we might have said was like, for instance, Abraham being E-P2 is our theory. Sure, we might say something like that. That's our model. But we never said haplogroups are a theory. Haplogroups are not theoretical. Unless you believe, Teo, that men and women don't exist. Because, again, just as Orthodox Moore told you, haplogroups are sex determining chromosomes, unless you think, the male gender and the female gender doesn't exist. Because it's actually the Y DNA chromosome that makes you a man. It gives you the testosterone. And same thing with females and their X chromosome and their hormones. Like, those are the literal genes that make us separate, that make a man and a woman. Unless you don't believe that, Teo. Unless you believe that sexes are theoretical. You really are a communist. You really are a leftist, bro.
Yeah, you're a leftist, bro. If you believe that, that's leftist jargon right there. Well, there's no such thing as male and female. Like, get the hell out of here.
Rashid Khan. If you are a user of direct-to-consumer personal genomic services, please do not pay any attention to your mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosomal haplogroups. Why? Because they hardly tell you anything about your individual ancestry. What do I mean by this? Your mitochondrial DNA comes down from your mother's 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 mother. And similarly, for your Y chromosomal lineage, if you are a male, these few individuals.
He tried to hurry up and read over that.
Speed reading.
So guess what that means? That can trace your lineage. It even calls it lineage. It even says mtDNA or Y lineages. They try to read over that and try to highlight the part where it says, just ignore it. Hey, family, you can be a haplogroup P and be Israel. That doesn't mean shit. It doesn't tell you that, you come from these people that, are from the Micronesian or Indonesian islands. It doesn't mean none of that. Now, don't worry about it. That's what Razi Khan is saying. They don't mean shit.
This nigga was clearly lying.
I love that clip.
Swinging and banging from the land of Canaan. We got James in the building.
Shalom, shalom, James.
Okay, maybe you're not ready to get on, but you're on the show right now, James.
Are not any more likely to contribute to your ancestry than all these multitudes and multitudes who do not contribute to your mitochondrial DNA or Y lineages, also known as almost all your ancestors. What you should pay attention to are your autosomal results. Have not Teotw Ministries been telling you guys this for years?
What they did was not even break down what was said in between. No, don't pay attention to your DNA. Teotw Ministries has been telling you guys this for years. To hell with Y DNA. To hell with your father and your mother and your mother's mother and your father's father. And to hell with them, right? To hell with the people you directly descend from. Just deal with your autosomal. Let me tell you why I'm telling you to deal with your autosomal. Because we found out that we're haplogroup G, and that shit go back to the fucking Caucasus. That go back from men that lived in the Caucasus. You guys are the product of European men. That's what you are.
And it's really so obvious. Like the people who typically go against the idea of the Israelites being haplogroup E or go against haplogroups, it's always people for the most part that aren't haplogroup E. Now, let me make a caveat. Not everyone. This doesn't apply to everyone, because I know some people who aren't haplogroup E, African Americans who aren't haplogroup E, who still rock with E as being Israel. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times when it comes to people who turn out to not be E, they always go against haplogroups. They always go against haplogroup E. And it's just obvious at this point. It's like, clearly you have this agenda because you didn't come out as what you thought you was going to come out as what you wanted to come out as. Like if you was, I believe down to my soul that if Teotw had E1B1A, he would not be saying any of this. He'll be pushing haplogroups all day.
Yep. So this right here just lunacy at its finest.
Inferences made from most of your genome. Okay, so that's what autosomals are. Inferences made from most of your genomes. It's not just admixture. That shows you their lack of education when they tell you autosomal is strictly for admixture. This shows you they.
Wait, autosomal isn't admixture?
That's what he just said. Get the chart. I know you got it.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Bring it up. It's not just admixture. Don't believe the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of papers that say that shit. Believe Teotw, because Gabriel came down and taught us this, and no other other niggas is not on our level. We got trained by angels. What Darwin said when you need them, the Nephilim.
I got something better than just image. Don't get me wrong. I'll show an image, but I actually want to read something from an actual paper as well. This is from Admixture Analysis, ISOGG Wiki. Literally Admixture Analysis. And it says, and admixture analysis is one of the, components of an autosomal DNA test. So apparently autosomal DNA is an admixture.
I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake.
And so let's actually look at images now, because all you have to do is type in is autosomal admixture. Teotw. People can just type this stuff in if they want to know the truth. Is autosomal admixture. Teotw's followers, if you're watching, anybody if they're watching, actually type in is autosomal admixture, and you're going to basically find that it's admixture. So let me just show autosomal.
Hey, before you do that, Avery, I just got a simple question. Did they look at their autosomal chart? Doesn't it give percentages? Yes. Percentages are usually an indication of admixture when you're talking about genetics. That's why it says, a percentage of this, a percentage of that. That's admixture. Common sense.
Common sense ain't too common, man.
So here's an example of admixture. Let me actually show a better one so that people can really like kind of see.
You had a graph with all three tests. That one's perfect. What happened to that graph?
Wait, where?
You had a graph where it said paternal test, autosomal admixture test, and then
that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. Grab that one. No, it's not admixture. It's not admixture, y'all. Believe me. I want autosomal to do the job of Y chromosome DNA so bad. I want autosomal to take the place of my Y chromosome DNA. Please, somebody take this Caucasus DNA from me.
Well, Teo don't believe men and women exist because haplogroups are just.
There it is. Put it on the screen. What is autosomal DNA?
Mixture of all ancestors. Where is this from? This is from Y-DNA haplogroup and genealogy. Ancient DNA project.
Okay, which test do you need if you want to trace your ancient forefathers? A direct line of fathers.
Y-DNA haplogroup. Pure paternal line given from father to son only.
Oh, man.
And mitochondrial DNA.
There you go.
Pure. What's that?
There you go. You got to keep cooking, man.
Mitochondrial DNA, pure maternal line given from mother to son and daughter. And there's a chart that shows all of this.
It's not just admixture, nigga. That's what it is.
See,
like James said.
Yeah.
And very rarely a male can pass on his mitochondrial DNA, but it's extremely rare.
Exactly.
Right. And so this goes to show you that Teo doesn't know what he's talking about. He can't even do a simple Google search. This was just a Google search. And this is what I mean. Teo believes that his audience are morons. I'm not saying it, but he believes it because everything he's saying is public access on the internet. Like, you can just look this stuff up.
So you rather doctor a map and go through all that with a PowerPoint than just do a simple Google search and find out that autosomal is admixture.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Like he went through all that when he could just.
And that's what basically Rajiv Khan was saying in a nutshell. If you want to know all your ancestors, not just the ones you directly descend from, you want to know about all the ones you admix with, your ancestors admix with, autosomal DNA is the way to go. That's why you have these percentages. You have East Asian, you have European, you have African components because it's admixture. It's that simple. But Dave Chappelle watched that clip too. Let's get his opinion on what Teo just said.
This nigga was clearly lying.
All right, let's get back to the video.
And it's so blatant too.
They need formal education.
Go back a
little.
They
have not. Inferences made from most of your genome. Okay, so that's what autosomals are. Inferences made from most of your genomes. It's not just admixture. That shows you their lack of education when they tell you autosomal is strictly for admixture. This shows you they need formal education because they have not learned how to learn. All right. These results.
Wait, we need formal education, but you guys going around botching maps up and saying that Israel is in sub-Saharan Africa. I don't know no formal education is going to teach that. I don't know. Go ahead, James.
Oh, my bad. I was about to say, they botched the damn paragraph. We looking at a paragraph right now. They can't even handle parsing a damn paragraph, bro. How do they talk about us? We bring up article after article after article. People bring researchers onto their channels to challenge what we saying, and the researchers are like, well, I can see how they're saying that if you speed up the mutation rate, or, well, yeah, basal E1B1A was in Iron Age Israel. Like, come on, y'all can try to run from what we saying, but no matter who y'all bring on, they're going to say the same thing we're saying because we're not making it up. We're citing actual geneticists.
Thanks. Thank you. And when the last time formal education teach that Israel's in sub-Saharan Africa? When the last time, if you go to school and become a geneticist, they're not going to say that dumb shit you just said, Teo. They're not. They're not going to say, oh, autosomal DNA is our our direct ancestry. You know, that's what you need to use if you go claim to come from ancient men. No, they're not gonna say that. You guys are goofy, man. We got Shawn Michaels in the building, man. I hope you chin checking motherfuckers tonight.
Shalom, what's happening, family? Listen, what's going on here, man? How long y'all been busy? How long y'all been getting busy? How long y'all been busting your guns at these dudes?
Man, we 5 minutes in. It's in an hour. I'm trying, we're trying to get through it, but every other second is a pseudo statement,
All right, so let's ignore the statements and let's get through this real quick, and then we can deal with them after.
Hey, yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, we busted this part though. We've been on this one part for a week almost.
I know the same
popping up everywhere.
I hear you, James. The same damn article that they posted and said that we were wrong. But let's get through it. I'm in the building. Yeah, was yapping in.
Chin checking motherfuckers. And I told you niggas I got shooters on my
Shooters on my squad. There's some shooters on my squad. If he holding on that work, then that pussy get rocked. There's some shooters on my squad. There's some shooters on my squad. All my niggas shoot like Ray. Call them shooting guards.
Right, Abu. Talking about, so we need formal education. But this nigga didn't understand that you're 50% of your first degree relatives, meaning you're 50% the same as your mother, father, brother, sister, right? And then when your grandparents, you're 25% similar to them. And then your great grandparents, you're 12.5% similar. Also, your cousins, you share that same range, 12.5%. So the deeper you go into time,
do we need to show that?
The less amount of similar.
And that's generally speaking, because sometimes you end up as close to 50%, but you may be a little bit more of your dad, a little bit more of your mother. Now you get 50% of your chromosomes from both of them, but your admixture you pick up as far as autosomal, you may be more one parent than another.
Right.
The way it mixes up.
Yeah, it's a variance, but that's the general estimate. The further you go back, the less autosomally you are related to your ancestors.
Do we need to show them that? Do we need to actually show them?
Real quick, just show them real quick and just bust them over the head with a brick like Debo.
All right, here's one example. Like, let's say this orange is white, this pink is black, and this dark blue is Australian, and this blue is Japanese. Black person, white person get together, they create a mulatto child, mixed kid. Australian Aborigine, Japanese, they create half Australian, half Japanese. Now, these two get together, the DNA is going to be split to this kid is only going to have like 25, maybe 20% of his African DNA. Same thing with the Japanese and the Australian and the white. Like DNA, autosomal DNA does break down over time if you're mixing with different ethnic groups. Eventually to the point that you can completely lose all the DNA from your ancient ancestor and be completely different.
Hey, tell Avery that Castile is the Spanish pronunciation of my name.
They said Castile. They said they called you Castile, man, because you had that steel coming through, killing them, taking their lands from them, fucking their bitches in mainland Europe, man.
Hey, I was gonna say that till they talked about me.
All right, let's let it play, y'all. Let's let it rock.
They're just liars. I think they're just liars.
I think so. I think they have an agenda, right? I think they're pushing a certain narrative. All right, because if you look at the video I did about them a few months ago, I showed you where Genesis 49 said that the Ish people were not related to us and that they were not Israelites. Then I showed you a video about a month or two later. He comes back and says, "Oh, these your family. These people are Israelites. They related to us." Okay, I got a Brooklyn Bridge for sale if you believe that nonsense. All right, but you can tell the way he maneuvered. He first said they're not related, then comes out with a video says they're related. So who got?
I made a video that a lot of those guys are not genetically the same as us, and that's true. What are the ones we're talking about? The ones that have the other haplogroups outside of E. That was a true statement. Now the next video, when I say black and white Jews are the same, I'm focusing on the E markers. They are genetically the same. So both things can be true, Teo. And you didn't even show any proof. You just said, "Oh yeah, he's inconsistent. He's false here." No, I didn't contradict myself at all. If you watch those clips, I'm very thorough on my points.
If anything,
nuance, man. To hell with it, all right? Because of nuance, it needs to be very simple.
You breaking up, James, but
breaking
I get the gist of what you're saying. You're saying basically they don't know what nuances are because I was speaking in nuance. Yeah.
But the crazy thing is they go around saying that, you're contradicting yourself. Aren't they the ones who call Edomites Europeans? So Europeans would be related to us because Edom is Jacob's brother, the Esau. So Europeans are our cousins. So what are you talking about?
Now I'm really saying he ain't related to no damn Napoleon and no damn Einstein.
Got to him. Who paid him off? Something's changed. Right?
Who paid us off?
These results may be more.
Abu, you paid us off. You paid us off, man. And you know what? You still owe me about 1.5, man. But we're gonna talk about that a little later.
Abu, the boogeyman. Ooh, scary.
Called to parse, but difficulty is no sin. And elegant ease is no virtue in this case. So just because haplogroups is easy, don't mean that's the way to do it. That's because you are interested in what? Your ancestry, not a convenient interpretable story. So they are looking for a convenient interpretable story. And this is the narrative they've been trying to shove down our throat. So, of course, I'm not saying that mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosomal haplogroups are useless. They are useful for population scale, phylogeny. Phylogeography. This is what.
That right there kills the argument. What's phylogeography, Teo? What's population scale? What is that based on? I'll give you an example, right? I showed a map. I'll give you an example of what phylogeography is.
Literally
right?
debunks him. He doesn't even know it.
He doesn't know what the hell it is. Just reading stuff that's alien to him. And these guys are dilettantes. They don't take out the time to learn this stuff. This is a phylogeography map, phylogeographic map right here. All right, you guys know what it is if you've seen it, because you guys took a map, a population density map, which is phylogeography, and said it was haplogroup G. This is phylogeography. So it can be used to show phylogeography because it shows these male lineages that have a common male ancestor spreading out in these regions here. This is E1B1B, so mainly in North Africa, and you can see that it has some frequency in Europe as well. That's phylogeography, dumbass. Tracing humans via their Y DNA, their male lineage, and seeing what parts of the globe they are located in. You don't know what the hell you're reading.
Dang, it's almost embarrassing, bro.
Here's another phylogeography map of EM81, EM78. Look at that. The Israel 9500 BC filled with E1B1B, E markers here. Boom. This is phylogeography.
And this is all connected to human male populations, correct?
Human male populations, because it's dealing with Y DNA, right? That's phylogeography.
Interesting. Okay.
So y'all,
are you sure we're not dealing with? Are you sure we're not dealing with like trans type of like?
Yeah. So follow geography. Watch this. You know, we actually try to educate people here. Watch this. This is gonna kill. This is gonna kill the whole goddamn thing, man. The definition of phylogeography. Anybody can look this up. That's why I say don't be a know-it-all, be a show-it-all. Phylogeography is the study of the historical processes that may be responsible for the past to present geographic distributions of genealogical lineages. Hibachi, you finish. What are those lineages determined by? Your YMT DNA.
Dang.
You guys cutting yourself so much in this basically one paragraph. It's over with, man.
That's a paragraph from hell for them.
Paragraph from hell. That's why Dave Chappelle watched this and like, what?
This nigga was clearly lying.
All right, let's get back to this video. Easy peasy, man.
What we've been telling y'all from the very beginning.
Day one.
But please don't make inferences about yourself from one data point, at least in most cases. So that's what I've been telling y'all. These guys keep blowing at us, and they got that idiot Abu following them because Abu, I'm going to tell you, Abu is an agent. He's targeting us. This guy stalks us. If I could call the police, I would call the police.
Stop being afraid of Abu. Grow some balls, you bitch.
Yeah,
stop
Abu's
running,
like
man. Abu been on y'all case for a year. You niggas ain't met him in the ring yet. He been on y'all case longer than us. Why the fuck are y'all afraid of him? You niggas is cowards, bro. Y'all scary, man.
Yeah, Abu is like, that dude is nice. He don't even try to get offensive or use, like, he doesn't cuss. He doesn't use offensive
He's not gonna yashub your ass. See,
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk
like,
to you dirty. I'm gonna talk to you like the little vaginal you are. Right?
Like, come on now.
This is what he does. This is how he is. He stalks us. But one data point don't tell you anything. How can one single mutation tell you who you related to? This is what Rashid is trying to explain.
Really? After he just said that, I'm not saying that mtDNA and Y chromosome haplogroups are useless, but you just basically said that by saying it don't tell you anything. Right after he said they are useful for population scale phylogeography, right after he says that, you guys are morons, man. You guys are idiots. And that's why you're fighting so hard, because you know that you're on the verge of losing all that goddamn money you making off your YouTube vaginal ministry, man.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
The Coda V is trying to sell a narrative to you guys that E is Israel. But we gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that as we go. All right.
Pause that. I mean, you don't have to pause if you want to, but that right there shows that, yeah, Teo is definitely throwing like 60% of his audience under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, majority of the people that watch this video are most likely primarily E.
Oh, man.
And they about to read something that is extremely applicable to them.
Yeah, why did I have to bring up a whole like little article on narcissism? And by the way, they did this exact same thing to Ron Dalton as well. They have a whole video, 2-hour video about Ron Dalton being a narcissist. So it seems like when anybody disagrees with them in DNA, they're automatically a narcissist. I mean, he did this exact same thing with Ron Dalton.
Can anyone show me a psychologist that would say that a narcissist would take time to sit down and parse their information and show prove how correct they are? Narcissists typically avoid any challenge to their information because they don't want to be shown wrong.
You're breaking up a little bit, but I think I kind of caught what you said.
Yeah, man. Like this is just silly. And oh no, that's what Rajiv Khan is trying. No, he's not. He made another paper too. Maybe you should guys should read more. Maybe you should just go read more.
How dare you tell us to read?
Yeah, read. Read is one about live not by haplogroup alone. Go read that one. Right? Read that one. Y'all not gonna read it because your mission is to do what you just try to claim we're doing. Sell a narrative. We're not trying to sell a narrative. You know, our primary focus is to get people familiar with the science, whether you agree or disagree. We want more people that are familiar with DNA science. We want more people to become more empirically based and base their arguments off of things that we can observe and not this cuckoo madness stuff that you guys do, like saying Israel is in sub-Saharan Africa. Everybody came off a slave ship as an Israelite, saying that the limba came from Morocco. Stuff that cannot be reconciled with data. That's what we're against races. A lot of you dudes are racist, man. We're nothing alike, man. Hey, right, Abu. These crazy false prophets are trying to say he is Israel. It's outrageous, family. Two guys siphoning cash out of hundreds of African Americans who identify as Israelites. Oh, man. This is just silly at this point, man. And how about you read the article that we've already, I know y'all saw the video, but y'all going to ignore it. This is called special pleading, man. Ignoring things that contradict your position. Ramzi Khan has made articles, the haplogroup is dead, long live the haplogroup, why mtDNA and Y chromosome lineages matters. That's the article. So no, he does not say what you guys say. Oh, no, this is completely, you can't get anything from Y DNA. That's not what the damn article said. Like I said, you guys are preying on our community's illiteracy. That's what you're preying on.
Genesis 49 has a narcissistic personality and an egocentric personality. So narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah, if y'all go to his channel, you can go listen to the brother. If somebody disagrees with him, he curses them out. If you go look at his response to Berean, he cursed them out for like 5 minutes straight using every big curse word that's out there. All right.
Not that I got a problem with him cussing out Berean, mind you, but
I'm not saying Berean don't deserve a little cussing, but the brother was trying to get on Berean's show, and Berean didn't want him on there. So
yeah,
I don't think that was a reason, right?
Berean was saying, "Don't come in with all that cussing."
Yeah, he like, I'm not cussing. I was coming to talk. And then when he went on his channel, he just let it out, dude. I mean, I have to try to invent some curse words because he let them all out. He didn't leave none left. That's how bad he was. So
but Minister tell you, notice though, they could come together against Teotw Ministries though. They don't like each other, but they all come together against Teotw.
Isn't that something? He don't like Berean. Berean don't like him, but Berean lets them on his show to come against us, right? So, Berean's problem is he's bought and paid for.
Wait,
right?
pause.
So remember when he was like,
I'm not going to be long, but you never went back on Berean's show. Like, you haven't been on since, of course, since he didn't let you on that one time. But since then, you've never been back on, right?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that was you was never back on. So what does it mean that y'all teamed up against Teotw?
We teamed up with Berean, really?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. That's called the art of bullshitting. They have mastered the art of bullshitting.
Teotw's followers, show the clip of Genesis 49ers and Berean teaming up against Teotw. Oh, we're so big, bad, and scary. Show the clip. All right, you can keep playing it. That's all I have.
I had enough of y'all. I'm going to New York tomorrow, and I'm going to tell the ish people on y'all. Y'all is in some trouble now. Massa's gonna get you now, because I'm gonna report y'all that y'all trying to say y'all them. I'm going tomorrow. And that's what Berean did.
He was literally doing that.
Yeah, and then came back, and then all that failed and nothing happened, right? And then, and if you don't know, there's a video, I didn't bother getting it, but when he was talking about Israel, he was frustrated with Israel. What did Berean do? He talked about us, how we a cult and this and that, and he went, Tui, he spit. That was the disgust that he had for us, that he spit when mentioning Israel. And then say, I'm friends with Israel. That's why we say Berean ain't no friend of Israel. He hates us, right? Y'all got to talk about them founding fathers. Since the beginning of European Christianity, no one has ever taught what the Israelites have been teaching. That's Berean. Nobody has ever. I'm like, okay, the founding fathers never taught such a thing. We don't care about no founding fathers. We don't care about no Roman Catholics. The founding fathers nullified the Israelites, didn't allow the Israelites to be part of none of their meetings, none of their councils, right? Council of Nicaea, none of that. They kept them out, punished them, banned all Israelite practices. And we supposed to care about the founding fathers. We don't care about the founding fathers of Christianity, and we don't care about the founding fathers of America. Why? Because they both the same.
What the fuck this got to do with anything?
Anyway, let me read this.
Those are your father's tale. The founders.
Yeah, those are your fathers, man.
Personality disorders is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. He curses people out nonstop. He don't care as long as if you disagree with him, it's coming.
Me out though.
But behind this mask of extreme confidence lies a fragile self-esteem. Yep. That's vulnerable to the slightest.
Now that's
criticism.
them.
That's why he cursed.
That's them. They're vulnerable to the slightest criticism, to the point where you guys block every fucking body. Nobody can say anything to oppose your position. I allow you to come on here and say what the fuck you want to say, but you're gonna be met with resistance. Just don't.
No, that's a lie, bro. You barely give Darvis resistance. No.
yeah. Darvis got his own show. You know what I'm saying? And I'm diametrically opposed to him. And Ngozi came up here. I don't agree with Ngozi on all points.
I think even Garfield came on here one time, I think.
Yeah, he did. He said what he had to say. It's the fuckery. I don't put up with the fuckery. I don't play them games, man. You understand? But y'all want to come over here and have that dialogue, the door's open. But guess what? We can't have the dialogue over there. We're not going to be able to, because first of all, y'all don't give a fuck about information. All y'all care about is retention of your memberships.
I learned that the hard way.
Keep the doctrine alive. Just like these damn camps, you know, as soon as you go against them, say, listen, man, what you're teaching is not credible. Oh, no, you got the devil on you, brother. Kick him out. That's all y'all doing is demonizing people.
And that's exactly how a cult moves. As soon as you start speaking against the cult leader, they tell you they kick you out, or they try to kill you, and it's physical. But they either kick you out, and they tell their members, "Don't talk to him, don't associate with him."
Nah, yeah, I curse people out because they bitches. Like y'all niggas is bitches, man. Y'all niggas hoes, and I'm standing on that. Y'all been running from Abu forever, man. Debate that man.
Especially if you think the Most High is on your side. Like, you should have all the confidence in the world if you believe the Most High God, creator of the entire universe, is on your side.
Y'all on camera talking about y'all want to put hands on Berean.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Old man.
Everybody listen, stop that internet shit, because once you leave your state and go to another state, you're at a disadvantage automatically. You're not from there. You ain't gonna do nothing but sit your old ass down at your computer and talk shit on the internet, man. Oh, I want to put hands on him. I want to beat his aid, man. Stop it. Go get your ass killed or hurt. That's reality.
That's funny. A bunch of they're supposed to be more raised than they want to beat up an elderly man.
Right. What you gonna say about Abu is one of the most polite people on the internet, man.
Literally.
And y'all won't accept none of his criticism. You demonize a man, says he's out to destroy the whole community, all these other weird stuff to rebel rouse people and make them not like the brother. You understand? So no, bro, this fits you guys.
Alberian right there, family. A narcissistic personality disorder causes problems in many areas of life, such as relationships, work, school, or
and guess what this is? Guess what this is? This is all ad hominem fallacy to get the spotlight off of the information. To get the spotlight off the fact that you guys have been wrong on every goddamn point that you have made. You've been wrong on geography. You've been wrong on the skin color issue, trying to connect that to race, trying to connect that to ancestry, trying to connect that to your lineage, rather. You've been wrong on those issues, man. You was wrong about your little 400-year prophecy, right? And when someone like Abu or the other guys come out, and Orthodox more come out and confront you on these things, what do you guys do? Block them and say Moore's an Islamic guy and Abu's an agent, all this other weird stuff, instead of addressing these arguments. A bunch of ad hominem fallacies, right? And red herrings. What the hell does this got to do with any damn thing? Nothing.
People with narcissistic personality disorder may be generally unhappy and disappointed when they're not given the special favors or admiration they believe they deserve. They may find their relationships unfulfilling, and others may not enjoy being around them. So if he doesn't get accolades and praise, and you don't call him a genius for studying DNA, then he's going to get upset with you. Okay?
When have I ever required that of any goddamn body? I want you to kiss my ass. And I never been that way. You guys just making shit up. This is all ad hom red herring stuff. Tell me I'm a genius. No, I never said that. But what I will tell you is pull some damn sources to back up that bullshit y'all teaching. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Neftali. He's projecting. He's obviously projecting. Right, they're coming for you, family. Stop it, man.
I just want to see the clip.
Yeah,
all this.
Provide the evidence. I thought the scripture says not to bear false witness.
Yeah, this literally is very possible. Like they're literally sinning right now.
I thought you guys were Bible guys. Remember, y'all said I was a heathen. I don't believe in the Bible. Remember, you put that on Facebook. I don't believe in the Bible. But you guys are held by that standard, right? It says don't bear false witness. Right? And you bearing false witness. So hold on, man. I'm confused right now. And your audience is probably confused. Why is he going through this long ass shit? Just get to the information.
Okay. But he's a double talker now. You're gonna see as well as we go. So egocentric bias, right? Egocentric bias is the tendency to rely too heavily on one's own perspective and or have a higher opinion of oneself than reality. Egocentric bias, narcissistic behavior, hand in hand, right? Like a hand in a glove. All right, let's see.
Damn, that described them too. Hold on, wait a minute. Is a tendency to rely too heavily on one's own perspective. You guys do that all the goddamn time. I lean on the experts. I'm the one getting all the sources and shit and showing my work. You guys don't do that. Yeah, deflection through projection. Exactly.
Another funny thing they said is that a part of a narcissistic attitude is craving attention and all these things. And one of the very first things they said in this video, the very first maybe 30 seconds, was that they have more followers than us.
Right. That's egocentric, right?
Yeah. So, it's not good.
I abandoned my viewership because the minute I stopped talking 12 Tribes chart talk, right, and I switched my whole lane up, my viewership dropped, a steep drop, right? So if I was doing it because I'm egocentric and I want the attention and stuff, wouldn't it make sense I do what you guys do? Continue to teach flawed topics and doctrines.
Yep.
Come on, man. And when y'all gonna debate Abu, man? When y'all gonna step in that ring, confront that man, so he can beat the brakes off of you? Y'all forgot you guys pussy.
Boy, you vagina. You vagina with that.
Biases exist out there that may apply to this brother and the rest of his crew, but they have an agenda now. Don't get it twisted. All right, so here's an example: false consensus effect.
Oh my goodness, he just
in
not
psychology. The
DNA.
false consensus effect, also known as consensus bias, is a pervasive cognitive bias that causes people to see their own behavioral choices and judgments as relatively common and appropriate to existing circumstances. In other words, they assume that their personal qualities, characteristics, beliefs, and actions are relatively widespread through general population. So he thinks everybody agree with him. He thinks the scientific community, the DNA community agrees with him, and that he's not in error. Now he has his own model now. His model doesn't line up with anybody else, but he's right.
Wait, when did I say that, Teotw? When did I say everybody agrees with me?
Right.
You guys are good storytellers, man.
And also, there are some Jewish people online that do agree with
yeah, but that's non sequitur. When did I say, oh yeah, everybody agree with that? No, what everybody agrees with in the scientific world, in the scientific field, is that why DNA traces your male lineage. Yeah, they agree with that. Like, that's consensus. That's consensus, man.
You big dummy.
But did I ever say, oh, everybody agree that DE is Shem? No, that's our model. We've said that 1,000 times. We constructed that model on the available data. Right? And we create that theory. A theory is an interpretation of facts. You guys making shit up, man.
This nigga was clearly lying.
Now, let me ask you something right quick, Mr. Teotw. Now, Abu was saying Teotw Ministries need to show their model. They need to show their model. They need to show their model. And we be like, what model? We don't care.
Model? We don't need no stinking model.
Model, yeah.
I'm like, you see, they're trying to pull us into something that we
right, Abu. They doing the very same thing they trying to accuse me of.
They want us to have a model, but yeah, hey, what our position is, they call a model, and they say it's an autosomal model versus a haplogroup model, and so they like our model, blah 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 blah. We not pushing the model, we pushing the evidence. All right, we going where the evidence exists. We're not creating models. We're not creating hypotheses. Right? We're showing you how much evidence is actually factual versus a guess or a hypothesis.
What evidence?
Illusion of validity is a cognitive bias in which a person overestimates their ability to interpret and predict accurately the outcome.
Check this out. All this shit is applicable to these doofuses, man.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, I don't have a model. That's the problem. You breaking up, James?
Oh, my bad. Just saying that the last thing they said was little paragraph.
I think you said something about that paragraph they read, brother. But I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna go over here. You need a model. You know why he said we don't have a model? Because they know they can't make a model. You know why they can't make a model? Because none of that stuff is logically coherent. What is a model? A scientific model is a physical and or mathematical and or conceptual representation of a system of ideas, events, or processes. Right? That's basically what a model is. Scientific modeling is a scientific activity and aim of which to make a particular part or feature of the world easier to understand, define, quantify, visualize, or simulate by referencing it to existing and usually commonly accepted knowledge. And y'all don't want to create a model because it's too much work. And you rather story tell, right? That's what you rather do. and pontificate. All that stuff you're saying right now, I don't know why y'all exposing y'all damn selves.
The crazy thing is, one day people are going to realize, the true colors of Teo, and they're going to go right back to this video that they made and realize that all of this was really them pointing fingers at themselves.
Right,
That's
the
what's gonna
illusion of
happen.
validity. We can go to your video about the map where y'all said that undeniable proof. We don't make titles like that. Undeniable proof. That's y'all making claim. Oh, this is undeniable proof that sub-Saharan Africa, Israel's in sub-Saharan Africa. Y'all speak this way. This cognitive bias that y'all talking about applies to you. You overestimated your ability to interpret and predict accurately the outcome when analyzing a set of data. You did when you sat there and looked at that map and said, "Oh, this is sub-Saharan Africa." You guys are silly, man.
Am I still choppy, Jashu?
You clear now.
Much better.
All right, cool. I know now. All right.
Abu's shooting he's shooting from the balcony right now. He said, forget about all that mono mumbo jumbo guys who struggle to put together a coherent model. Exactly.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because it actually requires you to study. It requires critical thinking skills and requires you to know the right questions to ask your damn self. Because building that model required us to ask questions of ourselves, tough and challenging questions of ourselves. Like, okay, how will we even prove this? Where did this big bottlenecking event take place? What are we going to call the flood? How do we deal with this huge time gap that they're talking about that the Bible in no way can accommodate? We have to start using relative dating. We had to use oral testimony as the way secular scholars use oral testimony. We couldn't do it based on what we believe. We had to completely pretty much secularize the Bible and build a model with it. I don't think they have what it takes to do something like that. I just don't.
No, they don't, because all they got is the curses, family. The curses. I'm black. You can't tell me my granddaddy don't look like. Shut the hell up.
And they got that good old G. What's that, like 1% of African Americans or something like that?
1%, man.
So 99% of our community, they don't got nothing to do with Israel because they not G like him.
Exactly. Isn't that egocentric where you focus only on yourself?
That sounds like cognitive bias to me.
Yep.
Utterly selfish.
Narcissistic, cognitive bias, everything they say about themselves, they do all day.
Yeah, they like 0 for 4 right now. They took 4 shots and they like 0 for 4, man. They made 1 bucket.
Analyzing a set of data. In particular, when the data analyzed show a very consistent pattern, that is when the data tells a coherent story. Right, so our data tells a coherent story, but he is biased toward his own. All right, and he has no explanation for it. And you're gonna see later. This effect persists even when the person is aware of all the factors that limit the accuracy of their predictions. That is when the data and our methods used to judge them lead to highly fallible predictions. So when we give them evidence and show them why they're, he can't.
So they not avoiding all the factors that clearly show them that ain't no way in hell G can be Israel if you're basing it on the people out of the transatlantic slave trade. But we ignoring the factors though. They not showing us our mitochondrial DNA because they probably ain't got shit to do with us whatsoever. All they can do is say, hey, autosomally though.
Every sentence these guys have read thus far, has been applicable to them. Y'all ignore DNA science. You say it's garbage. You say you can't use your lineages. You just throw that away, right? When the evidence, empirical data is against you. Oh no, our data is congruent. No, it's not. And again, you know that your audience is not going to fact check you on any of this. You know it. And Abu's correct. The reason why they don't want to model because they want to keep things intentionally vague.
And the reason we got one is because we want to narrow shit down.
Facts.
Just Israel, or you can't even identify Israel by E, even if Israel was E, that doesn't matter. He's pushing this false narrative. And you're going to see, I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you this video when he was on Garfield, and Garfield asked him about Noah. And watch the two-step. Watch the sidestepping he does to dodge the question because he had no answer. Why? Because his model is flawed. All right. Belief bias is the tendency to judge the strength of arguments based on the plausibility of their conclusion rather than how strongly they support that conclusion. A person is more likely to accept an argument that supports a conclusion that aligns with their values, beliefs, and prior knowledge while rejecting counter arguments to the conclusion.
Damn, do y'all really read this on y'all channel? This is you guys all the goddamn time. I'm open. Listen, I'm not the one on videos denying the people that have ancient ties to the Levant. I'm not the one doing that. That's you guys doing that. I'm not saying that Jay had nothing to do with Israel like you guys are doing. I'm not trying to translocate, I guess? Translocate the land of Israel. You know, to fit some kind of sub-Saharan African supremacy shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not denying that those people over there in the land of Israel today have had a long time in those lands, in and out of it, and with that culture we know as Judaism, and dealing with the Torah and dealing with serving with the patron deity. I'm not the one doing that. That's y'all doing that. You're rejecting that because it goes against your belief. You guys are 100% dogmatic. Y'all 100% dogmatic. And I have said in a multitude of occasions that we have a theory. We're not telling people like you guys it's undeniable. No, listen, we're studying the facts and we created a model. The descendants of DE will be Shem. The descendants of CF will be Japhet, and we're basing it off the available data. But you, on the other hand, is completely disregarding empirical data. You're completely disregarding people groups. You're disregarding their ancestry, and you're disregarding African Americans when you truncate E. When you say E ain't shit, you're saying majority of African Americans ain't shit. Thank you, Abu. That's definitely them.
At least 70% of African Americans they saying ain't shit. At least.
Right.
So he doesn't ways other people.
There is no evidence of Limba coming from Morocco, but there's a video of you guys saying that. There's no evidence of Yaya Negro being your ancestor, but it's a video of you guys saying that. Right?
Yaya Negro.
Disregarding empirical data, evidence that we can observe, you disregard that completely. You did, and rejecting counter arguments is your forte. Stop it, man.
Positions, he says they're flawed, they're in error, but you know, what he does is he continues to push his own narrative. All right. He repeats his narrative instead of breaking down and destroying other people's narrative.
Hey, hold on real quick, Jashu.
Right. So
do we not also give the other side of the argument? Like when we have like for instance, when we talk about the dispersal out of Africa, we talk about the southern route, we talk about the northern route. We all don't agree on which route they took individually because that often happens even amongst prominent scholars. Some scholars agree with this model, some scholars agree with that model. That's why there isn't really a consensus yet in the area of this, especially because it's a new study when we're using ancient DNA in the mix. Because a lot of stuff they had prior was just purely hypothesis based off modern population density. But then when we get the ancient DNA in the game, it changes almost everything they thought they knew about where people lived at in ancient times. So I mean, we're the ones going with the information. Y'all the ones just making it up as you go, and it's evident.
Yep, this is you guys, and we give our argument. We let the data points make our argument. Y'all just get on there and say some shit. It's a huge gap between what we do and what you guys do. You pontificate, you storytell, right? That's it. We let the empirical data build our model for us, right? That's what we do. Again, that's why you don't see a video on Genesis 49 that says undeniable proof. I know this I know for a fact, saying shit like that, right? And to speak to James' point, we do give the opposite argument. We do give the counter argument our damn selves. I've done a video called The Secular View. I believe it's called The Secular View of Haplogroup E, and explain what they say about E1B1A. I mean, E1B1A, the secular understanding of E1B1A is the video. Explain how they feel E1B1A was broken up in due to the Green Sahara, the dislocation of the Green Sahara. And some got trapped underneath the Sahara, and some got trapped above the Sahara Desert. I read that on my channel. You guys would never do that. I sat here and read the entire J1M267 article. You guys will never do that because you're uncomfortable with that information. But we're comfortable reading this information and dealing with any side of the argument. Thank you, Isaac Johnson. Sounds like they read their own psychological evaluation. Orthodox Moore said, that's what makes Yap on point. We agree on the basic model because of the data, but we box behind the scenes to sharpen the skill set in models. You guys are afraid of the information. We confront it. We read it. We understand it. We learn it. You run away from it. That's the difference. That's the difference.
All of this fits this brother, right? Narcissistic behavior, egocentric biases, and these three biases tie directly to his behavior for the past few years. All right, so you're related to them. This is a video I'm gonna show you in a second.
Dang, did the video freeze?
Okay. I'm getting good with that. All right, we're going to start here. We got some other ones to go through. Let's see. All right.
Really Hebrew. So y'all got so much negative stuff to say about these people, but you have common ancestry with some of them. You share the same forefathers as some of them. This is a part of your ancestry, your legacy. Right? It says there's 7 Y chromosome major branches. You just listen them. G is included and R1B is included. That are prevalent among Ashkenazi Jews.
Wait, is this them sharing their screen?
Yes.
More
of the Torah. These are prevalent amongst Ashkenazi Jews. You know, how can you look like this white boy, family? How can you look like the pale man? People, man. How can you be related to him? Y'all gonna have to tap into your ancestry. All right, it is what it is. It says
Shoot,
here,
I got an image to
y'all
share.
related to
here
them,
in a
fam?
second.
Yes or no?
E3B, G, J1, J2Q were part of the ancestral gene pool transmitted by Jews who migrated from the And why they got my volume low, whereas
man?
R1B and certain sublineages within R1A may have entered the Ashkenazi Jewish population in Europe. Under founder events are evident, unique founder events are evident using detailed lineage analysis of these 7 Y chromosome biomarkers. in the Ashkenazi Jewish population. The comparative frequencies of these lineages between contemporary Jews, non-Jews led to an estimate of overall historical male admixture rate of 5 to 8% with European populations since the founding of Ashkenazi Jewish populations. This is the same as an admixture rate of 0.5% per generation. The presence of European Y chromosome lineages is the major difference between Ashkenazi Jews and Middle Eastern Sephardic Jews. So the point I
want
want
to
to
share my
bring out
screen
is
really quick
G
and share
is
if I pulled it up.
so y'all got to claim y'all
So,
right, man. Y'all
well,
should jump
actually,
on the paper and say,
just
look,
pause it
man,
really
we're
quick.
part of that G that was a part of this Ashkenazi Jewish cluster.
Go back a little bit so I can point out the features of those people he showed, and then I'm gonna. All right, so he pulls up a Jewish person, or I guess he'll call a white person or whatever, with red hair, pale skin, and then he has two black people with brown skin, curly, thick hair, stuff like that. Now share my screen, Yeshu. This right here, same thing, a white girl, red hair, and a brown girl, curly hair. But guess what? They're both sisters and they're twins. These are twins that look totally different from one another. Even in the same generation, you can have a sibling that looks nothing like you. And you can have family members that look nothing like you, especially if you're in a blended family. But when Yeshua was talking about, us and Jews being related, this is going back thousands of years with our Y chromosomes descending from the exact same forefathers. And so obviously, thousands of years later, we can look different. But anyways, even in the same close, like first generation, you can have people in your family that look nothing like you. Has he never heard of blended families? Creole families where one side of the family is black and the other side of the family is white? Or even when it comes to Thomas Jefferson's family list, like Thomas Jefferson's descendants, they look nothing alike. But they're still related.
Man, they know all about mixed families and Creole families. They from Louisiana. Ain't nothing but mixed families and Creole families.
Exactly. Thomas Jefferson's descendants come together. They look nothing alike, but they're related. Come on, Teo. This is simple, easy stuff. African Americans, especially like what James just said in Louisiana, should be the last people to say you can't have family members that look like different quote unquote races, even though race is a bit of a social construct. But yes, you can definitely and obviously have family members that look nothing like you. So you pulling up that image of a white Jew and a black African American is absolutely stupid.
My grandfather has grandsons that look nothing alike. My cousin, who is direct male descendant of my grandfather, he's an E carrier. He looks like a typical European dude. If you looked at his DNA, it's like 70% European and like 15% African American. But he's an E carrier, E1B1A. What does that mean about their skin tone? What does that mean? That they mix with more white people than I did? That's it.
Bro, this is simple stuff. This is simple. Again, this represents, I'm going to make this last quick again. This represents after, let's say 3 generations or 4 generations, of a mixture between 2 different peoples. And then what I showed you with the twins, that was just in the first generation. Like, it ain't that confusing. Like, come on, Teo. We can debunk this with simple Google searches. Come on now.
Are they going to deny the counter arguments like they just try to they deny counter? You guys are going to do that, right? Stop it, man.
Yep.
Population. The comparative frequencies of these lineages between contemporary Jews, non-Jews led to an estimate of overall historical male admixture rate of 5 to 8% with European populations since the founding of Ashkenazi Jewish populations. This is the same as an admixture rate of 0.5% per generation. The presence of European Y chromosome lineages is the major difference between Ashkenazi Jews and Middle Eastern Sephardic Jews. So the point I wanted to bring out is G is there. So y'all got to claim y'all right, man. Y'all should jump on this paper and say, look, man, we were part of that G that was a part of this Ashkenazi Jewish cluster that migrated from the Middle East.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't. I had to hold back the laughing, y'all. I'm serious. I had to hold it back. I had to hold it
I
back.
ain't gonna lie, that sound like a
Is
fake
he
laugh.
for real? Is this Negro peeing for real? Oh my goodness. Come on. Let's apply some common sense. I'm come on.
People shouldn't do crack before going to work.
Oh, family, are y'all related to them? Yes or no?
They already said no. They
Some of y'all
already
said
no.
no. But
That's racism.
Am I wrong? Am I racist for saying I'm
Yes,
not related?
yes. You're very much so racist because you're judging who you're related to solely on how people look today.
Let's actually break this down. So they're saying that they're not related to Jews. Are they saying that Jews aren't descendants of Noah? Because technically, even in a roundabout way, wouldn't we all go back to Noah? Wouldn't we all go back to Adam and Eve? So aren't we still all related in that
Yes.
sense?
Yep.
Like, come on now.
The Bible says all men go back to one blood, man.
Exactly.
And we know the Bible talks about a bottlenecking of it, Genesis 6-9, and those lineages were reduced, a bottleneck to only 8 people. So all people on the planet Earth, if you're a Bible believer, will have to descend from these people.
Which
So
would
all
mean we're
skin
related
colors,
to white people.
all pigmentations, all shades, all morphologies will have to come from them.
Right.
But you
Just
guys
check.
say I don't believe in the Bible, though. I'm the heathen, right? I don't believe in the Bible, but you guys make claim y'all whenever you try to dehumanize another human group, another human, that's racist, man.
Isn't that what the Ku Klux Klan and Nazis will say? Oh, we're not related to those N words. We have
Right.
nothing to do with them. They're a completely different race.
They're beasts of the field, right?
And you use the exact same rhetoric.
No harm, no foul, nothing against them, but are we related? Like I say, either they Israel or we Israel, but not both. That ain't racism.
You ain't Israel. You're right about that.
That is racist because again, you did not base it off of their ancestry. You based it off of how they look. Oh, this person's pale and have red hair. They're not Israel. That's why it's racist.
I would love for them to prove that Canaanites didn't amalgamate with Israelites.
No, all they're going to say is that the Canaanites were black.
I would love for that evidence. Well, they were, huh? According to the paper.
Just the mere fact that they're saying. Can y'all hear me, fam?
Yeah. I think there might be a. Go ahead. Let me see.
I'm sorry.
Now tell Abu to get off the radio in the background. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was saying just the mere. Y'all can hear me now? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, hold on. I got some echo in my headphones, but let me do this real quick. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right. So just the mere fact that they're saying either we're Israel or they're Israel, but it can't be both. We already proved that the Ashkenazi, 20% of the Ashkenazi carry haplogroup E. Sephardic, about what? 10 to 12% haplogroup E. All of these different cultures. So just the mere fact that they're excluding a whole I guess we could say a color of people off of just color shows that they're very ignorant in their understanding of everything that we're doing.
Right.
Literally. I mean, if they descend from Adam and Eve and Noah, they got to be related to us even by that standard,
Hey, Jashub, I gotta retract one of your statements, man. They not connected to them G's that came out of came out with the Ashkenazi. What were they, like G2A or something like that?
Yeah, that's what
Nah,
they
they
are.
related but nah, they G2A4. They related to Otzi the Iceman, who was where in Belgium or something like that. I can't remember. In Central Europe. So nah, they didn't come out of the Near East with them. They were already in Central Europe.
Yeah, but the paper. I think the paper. I don't remember the paper all the way, but I think the paper said they amalgamate. They didn't say it got those lineages in Europe. I'm not sure, but I thought it said something about those lineages may have amalgamated in
Well,
Europe.
no. There was some G in the well, I won't say the Levant in the Turkish type area. Yeah, in the Caucasus. So it was some G there, but I don't think it was the G2A4 that they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. But G family still there, man. G Unit. It's still there, represent.
Yeah.
I
And we keep making it clear also that every time, I know y'all probably covered this already, but I'm now able to really speak and pay attention because I was very busy. Um, the mere fact that just to go back a little bit, they keep saying that these people don't belong to us. Once you convert, once this mixed multitude came in, and this is what they were trying to misconstrue, Bro Yashub's when he said, well, these people are Israelites, the haplogroup J, and anybody else, any other haplogroup that were part of the mixed multitude. Once you convert, once you're part of this culture, if you're a sojourner, you're a sojourner. You belong. This is the where they're trying to muddy the waters. Like you're saying one thing, and then on the other side of the token, you're saying another. No, we're saying that these people were a part of the Israelite culture. They were sojourners. They are Israel. That's how the law states it. But there is a bloodline, and that bloodline we believe is haplogroup E. I yield. I don't know if I'm
Yeah, I
repeating what
say
y'all said earlier.
no. You good? You good? I'm just gonna land back on that real quick. I mean, I talk about it. I know for sure Jashu talk about it. Well, we have prominent members of high-ranking genealogies who are not Israelites, like with Shishan. Shishan married his daughter to an Egyptian, and that line is still one of the prominent lineages of Judah. They didn't cast it out because now, if it's an authentic Egyptian, it would have been what, haplogroup A. If it was, some of the Turkic ones that came down, you may have R1B that it could have been, or it could have been, any one of those people who ruled in Egypt or people from Egypt. So we have, like I said, I'm just saying we have outside haplogroups mentioned clearly in the scriptures, outside lines that marry in, and according to Torah, after 3 generations, they are as a natural born Israelite. There is no discrepancy. You shouldn't be going back to them telling them, oh, well, you don't technically come from this line. But what we're doing is we're building a scientific hypothesis. Well, I won't even say that, theory, because it's more than a hypothesis. It's a theory based on the empirical data of what actual haplogroups permeated that area during the time in which the Bible was written. Those haplogroups permanently are E and J. Like I said, we always you sprinkle some R in there. I know the Philistines had R1B amongst them. They also had A amongst them. So we know T was there a little bit earlier, so some T might be sprinkled in there. So I mean, it's different haplogroups that'll be part of the nation. But if we're talking about a direct lineage from Jacob himself, I'm not an E carrier, and I didn't decide, let me throw out my whole theory because I don't fit it no more. Nah, I've just had to come to terms with, I descend from Japheth. Fine. I have no issue with that. So I'm not going to go back on my laurels, though. I'm not going to go back on all the work I put in over the last about 5-6 years building this damn thing. It just is what it is.
Right. And to Abu's comment right now, I did show my autosomal, and I am a E carrier. I'm EU290. So, I mean, that would fall on their face too. They would fall flat on their face with that one too. So, they could try it if they want. But the mere fact that, like we said, we keep repeating this over and over for the past, I mean, even before we even, the Yap Gang been together for about a year and a half now, maybe a little more. Prior to this, James Cassell, Yeshua, Yam Yahoo, everybody has been making it very clear that haplogroup E is, they've been doing this longer than, they've been doing this longer than even, excuse me, even Avery has been making this clear prior to us putting together what we're doing now. Haplogroup E is where the geneticists are saying, they're hypothesizing that they have the clearest or the closest or the greatest margin of being Shemitic than anybody else. Hey, you.
Hey, Sean, was you flexing on them when you said you was EU 290? I thought you was flexing for a minute, brother.
I didn't want to flex. I wasn't trying to, but if they want to take it that way, then that's their goddamn business.
So you actually have a lineage that goes back to Western and Central Africa, and those Europeoids don't. That's what I heard. You know what I'm
All
saying?
praises to the Most High.
It's time to start chin checking these motherfuckers like this. We got Shawn Michaels in the building, man. We can't move from this segment without chin checking them with sources. I told you I'm gonna put cases on all you bitches. My brother said he from EU 290. I'm from EU 290. Guess what this lineage is associated with? This is from the peopling of the last Green Sahara revealed by high coverage resequencing of the trans-Saharan patrilineages. What's a patrilineage, Teotw? What's a patriline, Teotw? Oh, that's my father's line. Yeah, you know the lineage that you guys ignore and told your audience, don't worry about your Y DNA and mtDNA. Just listen to our ass. All right. It says it is known that the geographic distribution of EM2 in sub-Saharan Africa has been heavily influenced by the recent, less than 3,000 years ago, Bantu expansion. The expansion that my forefathers were a part of, Sean Harris's forefathers were a part of, and majority of the African American diaspora was a part of. Right? They brought in farming. They pretty much sowed the seeds of civilization in sub-Saharan Africa. We're the reason you get a Ouagadougou. We're the reason you get the Suniki people. We're the reason, right? We're the backbone of that. Okay? We brought those technological advances to sub-Saharan Africa. Now, haplogroup G, you had nothing to do with this. The buttresses, we're going to say this. It says, in this is mirrored by the high frequencies of several EM2 subclades among the Bantu people. In particular, EU 290 and EU 174. Right? Y'all trying to claim our shit. No,
yeah.
Yeah, nigga.
You know what they say? Culture vultures, bro. They're culture vultures.
Right. And we blacksmiths, we play with that goddamn iron. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted to get twisted. You know what I'm saying?
Don't let me go rack something right now.
Let's go. Hey, don't make me. Don't make me. We gonna, Sean, we gotta keep chin checking these motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? It's only right. It's only right. We got Shawn Michaels on the show. Why not chin check these motherfuckers? Here go another one. Light-skinned variant arose in Asia independent of Europe. Why am I bringing this up? You're probably confused right now. Why is he bringing this up? Right? So this is from the Scientific American. In this article, it says a new genetic study of Latin Americans provides evidence that gene variants for lighter skin color came about in Asia as well in Europe by Christopher, right? Christopher reports. In Latin America, Native American, Africans, and Europeans have intermixed for centuries. This is huge. Right? Why is this huge? Because you have people that have a certain morphology that descend from people that have a different morphology to them, meaning they can be light-skinned now and descend from somebody darker. They can be darker now and descend from somebody lighter. Why? Because admixture took place. You know that little autosomal test that you take, that you keep referring to? That tracks that. That's why when you look at that, you have European components, Eurasian components. You may have some East Asian components. You may have some Native American components because we were mixing here. Musties, the mestizos, the Creoles, the Criollos. You can go on and on and on about these admixed populations here in the Americas. Right? It says, so a few years back, researchers sought to learn more about the ancestry of more than 7,300 people from Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and Peru. The volunteers provided DNA samples. And they also answered the question, what do you think your background is? So they asked these people, they took their DNA and they said, what do you think your background is? And this is going to show the difference on how geneticists think about things and how the layman thinks, right? They claim, oh, well, our teachings is congruent with the genetic. We actually follow the data. No, you don't, because a geneticist would never make these claims. They will never say, oh, a pale skinned person had nothing to do with dark skinned population. Do you understand that Rabzi Khan is R1A, and you have white people with R1A, and you have darker skin tone people with R1A, hence Razib Khan? You fucking dumbasses.
Shout out Faker.
Let me keep reading. Wait, Faithful's R1A?
No, I said shout out Faker.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
It says here, it turns out what they thought, that is their predicted ancestry, told a different story than their genes did, with skin color a key factor. So what they went out and pretty much, surveyed these people, and they basically based their ancestry on their skin color. They predicted who they traced back to solely on their skin color, but their genes told a different story to you. Just like you think that because you're quote unquote black or have a black morphology, we don't even know how you look, but I'm just going to assume, right, that you automatically share the same ancestry as those people on the Gold Coast, as the people of Nigeria, as the Bantu. Let's see if geneticists think that way. Here's a quote from Adhi Kari, right? It says their predicted ancestry is actually very well correlated with their skin color, but poorly with their actual genetic ancestry. Let me read that again, because this is the issue you guys have. This is the issue you guys have, and you want to keep African Americans in the dark. You want to keep them ignorant. You don't want to teach them. You don't want to edify. You don't want to build them up and to the next level of learning. You don't. You want them to say, keep the color schema and just go off a skin color. Don't deal with your genes. It says their predicted ancestry is actually well correlated with their skin color. So they were basing who they go back to, their ancestry, on their skin color. Based solely on their skin color. It says, but poorly with their actual genetic ancestry. So that showed us people are actually trying to predict their whole ancestry by just looking at their skin color, which is a pretty cruel thing to do. But that's how the attitude is in Latin America. And it's
crude is a nice way of saying dumbass.
Can somebody say blackity black black and you ain't really blackity black black?
It says Adhi Kari, who studies human genetics in the University College of London. That's how we know your statements are not congruent with geneticists, because they do not speak that way. It says, in particular, lighter skinned volunteers tended to overestimate their European ancestry, whereas darker skinned subjects, like Teotw subjects, overestimated their Native American or African backgrounds.
Shots fired.
Now, a new study of Adhi Kari and his colleagues offers a reason for this mismatch. The skin color data and DNA sequences led the researchers to identify a genetic variant for lighter skin that arose in Asia 20 to 30,000 years ago. That event appears to be independent of the evolution of lighter skin in Europe. What's it all mean? Well, light skin color in Latin Americans could still reflect European ancestry, but it could also indicate Native American ancestry by the way of the original Asian immigrants carrying the trait who crossed the temporary Beringia land bridge into what's now Alaska and became the first Americans. It says the researchers were also able to show that gene variant lighter skin pigmentation is more prevalent in parts of Asia that do not match sunlight, indicating a possible way the genetic variant could have been selected for. It says Adhikari says the findings could help modify Latin American social views. We know, for example, there's a big socioeconomic stratification in Latin America, and that correlates because of the history of colonization to people's European ancestry. And a proxy of European ancestry is often taken to be light skin color. The reason why I'm reading this, because it's congruent with the way they think. They think, oh, well, in order for someone to be European, they have to be light. In order for someone to be African, they have to be black. This is the way the laymen think. Y'all claiming that our information is no, it's not congruent, man. It's not. It's racist. It's not based off genes at all. Let's keep reading. So what we are trying to show is that such a blind attitude to social aspects is also wrong genetically, but there's also big variations of skin color from the natal side that such kinds of simplistic attitudes would be ignoring. A reminder that ancestry, like so much else, is more than skin deep. See, that's what, we actually teach you guys here, man. You actually learn shit here. Go to their channel if you want to be indoctrinated. All right, so let's go back to this video.
Y'all believe this, brother? I'm like, all this energy he throwing at us, and he is waffling, he's wavering, his whole crew coming up with crazy theories.
That's because none of them Israel. That's the problem. And that's why they're making Ashkenaz Israel as well, because they are not Israel.
There you go. There you go.
So wait a minute. We're not Israel.
So let me get back.
We're not Israel, according to them. But we fit your stupid ass arbitrary definition of it. Is like, you got to go off autosomal. We went off autosomal. We showed you autosomal. We have more. I have a higher African, sub-Saharan African percentage than you guys. They not Israel. They go by the curses. This is the part where you politely tell them, shut the fuck up, man.
That is a good point to bring up. We're not Israel, but yet we do fit all their standards. We showed our autosomal DNA, and we have more autosomal DNA than them. And we are, our morphology is Black or African American. So it seems like they're making us not Israel just because they don't like us, because their feelings got hurt.
It's a way to.
I got a question. I got a question.
Demonize. Go ahead.
I got a question for you, Shoot. How do you tell somebody politely, shut the fuck up?
It's oxymoronic. That's the point. I will say that was yesterday's rule. We came up with a new rule today.
Oh, I see.
These dudes are the cartooning, man.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
I'm gonna get back to where I left off. All right. Oops. There we go. All right. What the hell? Negro, please.
Man,
all right.
You come right out of
not the same. Book. Not the mama. Not the mama. Not the mama. This is not rocket science, family. But when people pushing this kind of stuff, I'm sorry, there's something up. There's an agenda.
But what that say for the people that's following them? What that say about the people following them? Their mind must be messed up too.
I should have brought that other video they had with the brother that's part of their crew. And he's E1B1A. And he was what was it? 67% Italian in his autosomal match.
Yeah.
And they say, bro, You European. So they went against their own model and called their own boy a European because his cryogenics results was 67%.
When did we call him European?
We never did.
thought their
They're just
model said-
lying. Teo, as I keep saying, show the clip. When did we ever call? And I know who you're talking about. When did we ever call him blanketly a European? When did we ever say that he was European? Show the clip.
Hey, Dave Chappelle, when did we call the brother European?
This nigga was clearly lying.
What happened was he misconstrued our words. What happened was Bro Yashar showed his DNA, and we poked fun at him. He's like, "Oh, bro, it's a lot of European, but we know who he is." Like, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't saying he was European like we telling y'all you're European. You know what I'm saying? That's our brother.
Yeah, he's paternally African. Like we said that in the video.
Yeah, he's E. He's haplogroup E.
He's connected to the his haplogroups connected to the Luya people and stuff. Like, come on now, you guys aren't. You guys connected to some potato farmers.
And the crazy thing is, he's dark. Yashar is, and we never seen them, but I'm hearing they light skin. Yashar is darker than y'all. So that should show y'all something too. The brother's dark. His autosomal, he has a lot of European in his autosomal, but look at Yashar with dreads, dark skin. Y'all on color ship. Y'all ridiculous with this.
Say that he was Israel. I'm sure they'll come back and say, well, he's still Israel, right? But they were like, bro, 67%. He like, yeah, what of it?
So that was one that you showed before, right? And I'm going to show you somebody else who, contrary to their model that they accuse us of, they're hypocrites and they lying. I'm going to show you they lying. But continue, Mr. Teo.
Notice Teo hasn't showed anything since that paragraph in those ad hominem things. You're not breaking that down. You're just saying, ha, that's funny. That's childish. You ain't challenging that you guys are related to Ashkenaz. You didn't challenge that. Where's your counter argument? Where's your information? Demonstration beats conversation all of the time. Where are the sources?
This is just PR.
You just showed a picture and said, ha ha, these people look different. That's childish, man. That's not scholarly. That's not academic. You guys are fools, man. And this is why they don't want to debate, because this is the energy that they will bring. This is the mode of presentation that they will bring, and we will be beating that ass for 15 minutes straight with back-to-back articles, back-to-back sources, right? Demonstrating our points while these guys are clowning, man.
You want me to show it now? I'll show it now.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a good time to show that.
Now, y'all remember we were on Sister E channel talking about this stuff, right? Y'all remember this guy here, family, Castile? Y'all remember him? Can y'all see that? You can see that, Minister Teo?
They call him Castile. They say Castile because you got that steel.
All right. So this is one of the Yak gang members. He says, I, for one, ousted no one and actually told the group to allow him to stay. Unlike yourself, I can prove what I'm saying. I have nothing but pride in my ancestry. So what's your point?
Real quick.
I'm the one who...
Just want to say, for the background, it's just about talking about somebody that was in one of our groups that we decided don't need to be in one of our groups. And then I guess they was spying or something on one of our groups trying to get information from us and shit like that. So that's how they end up coming up with this. But I really don't care because I put it out for everybody to see anyway. But go ahead.
Shared it because I am who I am. Unlike yourself, I don't need to hide behind Facebook profile and no one knowing my true identity because I'm a real man willing to stand on that. You are a coward hiding behind social media.
Wait, pause.
Scared to expose the
again,
truth of yourself.
I gotta ask: Is James? Are you talking to Laban? The racist?
Yeah, I was talking to LeBron. Yeah.
Why does Teo have a screenshot of you and LeBron in a conversation?
Because they all in cahoots.
Yep.
That's weird, bro.
That's why I say all them niggas are the same. They all, you know what they agree on, right? Birds of a feather flock together. Racism. LeBron say racist shit about black people, and Teo say racist shit, dehumanizing shit about white people.
Yep, that's true. But by the way, Teo, you have a screenshot of a conversation. Like, you're agreeing with LeBron, who's like a hardcore racist against black people. Just putting that out there.
Emphasis on hardcore.
Like, calls us monkeys hardcore. But this is the guy you want to quote, but okay.
This is your king?
Yes, I am R, boy. What's the shame in that? Now, do y'all remember, yes or no, family, how they beat us up because we are haplogroup G? And James Castile himself came.
We didn't beat y'all up because y'all simply haplogroup G.
Yeah, we beat you up because you're lying.
Yeah, because you're racist. You're sitting here talking about how white folks talking down on white folks all the time and stuff like, and you descend from them. That was the point in beating your ass up on it. You descend from white folks and you speak disparagingly about white folks. That's the same reason we got on Gorilla Hebrew ass. You spend all this time, the white man, the devil, white man, the devil, white man, the devil, and you descend from a white man. So we don't clown you for it. What's wrong with that?
These niggas, man, misrepresenting spin doctrine kings, man.
You mean queens? They ain't no kings.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Queens. Well, I mean, G was in Europe during medieval times, and they did have queens, so.
Stalin.
We left a few of them around.
The E channel beating us up, saying we're wrong, we're lying, but this Negro here is R.
He's still
and he was fighting hard for Genesis 49.
Fighting hard for him. And this guy is straight up R, European. They say so themselves. Now, somebody, I'm gonna show you the rest of it.
So since I'm haplogroup R, that means all the scientific data wrong. I'm supposed to just recant all the scientific data, all the evidence, just because I do my DNA test and find out I'm R. That don't make no damn sense. I'm not y'all. I don't do dumb stuff. I'm not going to jump out there and say, well, the whole diaspora, all of Israel is R1B. Sorry for all the E1B, 1A. All the transatlantic slaves, well, I won't say that, but let's say 80% of the transatlantic slave trade, sorry about y'all, but all my ancestors in Europe, we the real Israelites. I didn't do that like y'all did.
It actually goes to show you that's exactly what they did when they found out that they had that G marker. Just threw away the whole science.
They beating us up, family. You goddamn Skippy. Hey, R whooped y'all ass before, they whooping your ass now. We got our boo whooping your ass. We got my brother James swinging and banging from Atlantic Canaan, man. He putting that belt to y'all ass, and we got another R marker. We ain't gonna reveal him yet, but he been putting his foot up y'all ass. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you niggas talking about, man? We not racist like y'all. We been saying we cool with other groups, man. You don't gotta be E to be down. We never said that. All our argument is.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, finish. My bad.
I was just gonna say all our argument is that the most likely progenitor of Abraham will have to be an E carrier. We're not saying other groups can't come around. We're not racist like you guys. We're not exclusivists like you. You guys will try to, we don't deal with white people. We don't deal with these people. You guys have that issue. We don't. So you can be Jay. We had Adam K on the channel. What are you talking about?
Wasn't that the whole point of the Jewish thing? That we are cool with Jewish people? But now all of a sudden we're not supposed to be cool with James. But we're cool with Jewish people. And
y'all saying anything because James be getting on y'all ass and we busting at you niggas. So y'all trying to find any way to get that belt off y'all ass. That's what it is.
And Jashub, as long as you know me, where have I said my male ancestors came from? Europe, right?
Yep.
As long as you know me, I've told you my male ancestors came from Europe. I was just, I knew it was a 50-50 shot in the wind. You know what I'm saying? Because my last name is Jewish. I already knew that. I thought it was Sephardic. Turns out it's Ashkenazi. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. But it is what it is. But shoot, my ancestry, any way you parse it, has something to do affiliated with that land. R1B was amongst the Philistines in Israel. My L3 is one of the matriarchal lineages that go back there. And my Ashkenazi ancestry, which I went and checked into. Everybody related to me is either a JRR carrier. All that goes back to the land. So, I mean, I ain't tripping. And anywhere it went, it wouldn't change nothing in the way I move and what I believe at all.
Because you're real and not fake like them.
Yeah, I ain't got to change who I am with whichever way the wind blow. I ain't got to change who I am. I'm going to stand on who I am regardless. And I can always lean on my maternal ancestry. So,
Hey, I know why they mad. Because this is what Ron Dalton calls a cultural memory. Abu been beating their ass. James is beating their ass, right? This is a cultural memory. Haplogroup R been beating G ass for thousands of years, man. I'm gonna just say it, man.
About 10,000 been stumping on y'all head for about 10,000 years, man. It's all good. We just let y'all know who reigned in the house of Japheth. That's all.
Facts. Beat you niggas up.
Like we pretty much did what E1B1A did in Africa. We did it through Europe. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Except we was far more violent.
Hey, now Tyler said they got genetic PTSD.
Dang.
They remember that ass whooping, boy, to this day. Hey, what that boy
said? You know they talking about that epigenetics.
Yeah. Yeah, that is epigenetics.
Where genetic memories pass down through your DNA. That's that epigenetics, man. Been beating that ass for 10,000 years. Can't stand our ass.
You niggas lost, man. Hey, y'all, again, guess what? I bet y'all won't get in the ring with my brother James. Y'all popping off at the mouth, but none of you niggas gonna get in the ring with him.
Man, I dog walk them, man. I drag their ass through the mud. They know better. Even when I went on Sister E channel, they didn't want to talk at all about the information. All they wanted to talk about was Jashub ass.
Right. Ad hominem, right?
That's it. Try to disparage his name.
Because y'all know everybody over here will cook all you niggas. Easy. It won't even be close. This is the level of scholarship y'all have. This is kindergarten, man. We chilling. We cruising through this damn video.
Nah, we had high standards in kindergarten. And I know my nephew in school, when he was in kindergarten, he had high standards shit. He was teaching me shit. They was talking about moons on Mars. I didn't even know Mars had moons.
Oh, man. So, hey, man. Y'all done, man.
Hey, what grade they teach critical thinking back when we was in school? What, like third grade? First grade? Somewhere up in there.
Here, you want to see it firsthand? I'm not hiding it like you hide yourself. Now, do y'all see this? I already seen it. I'm in there. You ousted Jacob, not my burner. Now let's see if y'all can see this. Can y'all see this right quick, family? Neanderthal, 61 variants. Now his maternal haplogroup is L3F1B1. His paternal haplogroup is R51855. Now, according to them, he's not Israel.
1855. Neanderthal variant is very high. Huge.
I have as much Neanderthal variant, less than 1%. It says on my damn thing, less than 1%. I got
variants. He thinks that's like
Yeah, I got two damn traits. I got two traits from Neanderthals: fast sprinting and prevalence for sugar over salt. That's it. That's all I got from him.
He
That's
don't
it.
know what variants are.
61 ain't shit.
Exactly. There's people with way more than that.
Yeah, people with thousands.
Yeah, he thinks variance is percentage. That goes to show he doesn't know nothing about what 23andMe is saying when it comes to variance. And I bet you Teo got more variance than you. Teo, release your Neanderthal variance. Release your Neanderthal ancestry. But you won't.
Release all of it. Release your mitochondria. We want to know if you got any sub-Saharan African direct ancestry.
Teo, no, he don't want to show that H. He don't want to show that H. He don't want to show that J133. Show that J. Show that K marker, nigga. Stop hiding. You understand? We just gonna assume that shit till you show it, nigga.
Like y'all do. Y'all assume every damn thing. Even after we show it.
Their motto, he's not Israel. All right, one more frame. We told y'all they lie. Y'all could listen to us or not listen to us. They still lying.
They still lying. We improve shit, but they still lying.
With L3F1B1 genes. All right, so now he's tracing his lineage through the mother and not the father. I wonder why. Could it be because he's haplogroup R, which would make him what? According to their model,
according to their model, not according to
white boy, Gentile. Now go back to the shadows and try and troll someone your words would affect and are ashamed of who.
They keep saying according to our model. No. According to the scientific consensus, if you have those markers, you are European paternally. Just like your G, if you're GL91, which you probably are, which is G2A4, that's GL91, that literally arose in Europe. You're fucking European.
But what
Not
did we ever use that term? Did we ever use that term? You a whole white boy? Who coined that term?
That was Korean.
Exactly. So why are you putting that on us? Why are you saying we said that? Not you. I'm just saying why they saying we said that.
No, I think they're a whole white boy. I think they're a whole white boy. I agree with Brian.
MTDNA, MTNY.
Yeah.
MTY and autosomal. They have a lot of.
I concur with.
Boy, you vagina. You vagina with that.
So again, they should have to remind you that these niggas is lying.
This nigga was clearly lying.
Somebody turn some goddamn munching crunches up right now. Who is that?
My bad. I thought I was on mute.
What's that bunch of crunch? My bad. I got a whole bunch of crunch box.
I thought that was James because James be buying y'all into them chips. James be buying. He said his dog ate the bag of chips one time.
No, this is just some jalapeno chips. I thought I had.
Man, bro.
My bad.
My bully, man, that motherfucker loves some hot chips, man. If he see me with a bag of them hot chips coming to the house, he stalk me, man.
He's like hot sauce in his food like a down south cat.
Bruh, this dude here, man, he plots on you, man. You better not leave no food around this man. He gonna take the whole plate. And then look at you stupid when you want it. My bad.
You gonna spoil your appetite. I'm up here cooking this damn hibachi meal you already eating.
Man, I got
food done, brother.
I got kind of hungry. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know if I want any of this hibachi meal. It's a whole lot of pork on this hibachi meal. A whole lot of pig.
Swine ass niggas.
It's a whole lot of pig on this here.
That's okay. We still gonna put cases on all these bitches.
Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Who they are goes by the father. You saw it because you are Jacob, Israel. Now, what's yours? Or did you not take it because you're scared? You're going to see some Bantu in there. So now what? They against Bantu, the true Israelites? They're against Bantu?
Hey, pause that real quick.
He just cut the shot himself, did he? And that ain't what you said.
No, but the back. So the people know. The dude I'm talking to is racist. He always talks down on us behind the Bantu DNA. So I'm telling him to show us our DNA, and I'm just, messing with him like, hey, you scared to show the DNA because you scared some Bantu gonna pop up in your shit since you clowning us all the time. That's it. What's wrong with that?
Not only that, but he says that we RH, we have the rhesus. We have the rhesus. RH, we all monkeys, according to this dude. Y'all got the clips that I sent y'all for that? Somebody show that. Laban saying that shit.
That's what I mean. Like, Teo's literally quoting a racist. And it sounds like he doesn't even know who he's quoting.
It's two. I told you that spirits are the same, man. They agree with each other. They both agree to be racist. And that's what we're seeing displayed here. When you use Laban, you pretty much showed your hand, man.
Exactly.
These guys are not Israel, and y'all keep following them, and y'all keep listening to them while they lie and continue to lie in your face. Minister to you.
That's why they keep pushing it. There's something wrong with their DNA, right? Because from the very beginning, Sister E, I think even Sister Raham, I think I saw hers, Pastor Kelly, couple other people sent us their DNA, and we all have the same type of autosomal results that tie us to Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Benin, Togo, right? Same kind of breakdown.
Do you have an image of my autosomal?
But something's going on with these guys. And
I can pull it up.
The problem.
Give me a minute. I can pull it up.
To tell you the truth, I really do think somebody got to them because, like I said,
somebody got to us.
49 said that the Ish people were not us, and now he's fighting hard for them to be us. And I'm gonna continue to stand on my point that either they Israel or we Israel, but not both. I'm just sorry. That ain't racist.
That is racist, nigga, because you're basing on skin color.
That's the second time he said that, right?
That's the definition of racism.
That's the second time he said that, right? He doubled down again.
You know, Darvish be doubling up and they be doubling down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got these cult leaders, man.
Shouldn't we show our people the DNA again? Because
yeah. Let's show James. I'm about to pull it up.
Yeah, they agents. That's just what they are.
So I'm gonna play this video next.
Somebody did approach us. We get paid to bust you niggas ass.
Excuse me. Got some allergies. And
hey,
we're gonna
thank you,
listen
Abu,
to Garfield
by
asking
the way.
about Noah. And
I
watch
just
this
checked the cash out. I keep doing the work.
Where the hell is mine?
Hey, man, I don't know nothing about all that, brother.
Abu, don't let me get
out. Nah, Abu told us he cut Jashub the check, and Jashub's gonna take care of it, man.
No, I'm gonna have to skip town.
Hey, I know where you live, bro.
Oh shit!
Don't let me get Joe Biden on you.
Jashub, don't make me run your ass down for my reparations.
Oh damn!
All right, let's listen to this, family.
Answer I want and goes to the answer.
We don't even respect that shit. We just talking over this shit.
If Noah has 3 sons, would that mean Shem, Ham, and Japheth all would have the same Y markers? If Noah is a real person, how do you challenge that as far as global population?
All right, I got your DNA loaded up here.
The Noah story.
Yeah. So Noah would, his first initial 3 sons would have the same haplogroup as him. So what's the problem? I believe that Noah would have been. What was the problem with that?
I disagree with you, but I get your point. But I think it was due to the 10th bottleneck, and all 3 came out different. I do.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, though.
Yeah, I say that they all 3 would have the initial same. I've said this for a long time, like since we've been getting into this. They will all have the same haplogroup and then eventually mutate as the populations grew, migrated, as Josephus describes. and went to different various areas, they would eventually mutate to downstream markers of CT, DE, and CF and AB.
I understand, but I'm just gonna say this. I ain't trying to call it for an argument or nothing like that. But I think it would be a big issue in explaining from there why the haplogroups, I guess, broke down the way they did. Like, why would then Ham only have A and B? Because if they all came out with the same one, depending on where they migrated to, that would be what depends on what their haplogroup would be, not their direct lineage. You see what I'm saying? If they all have,
yeah. I don't want to have that conversation with you because I want to bust these niggas' heads up. But I hear you. But but I've always said what they put in this video. I don't know what the problem was. But anyway, James, this is James out of you want to talk about it, brother? Because these brothers said, "Oh, well, we got the same autosomal." You there, James?
I could barely see it though.
Oh, okay. So he's sub-Saharan African 77%, which I think is more than those guys. I think they were like 70 or 72%. He's 62.5% West African, 24.9% Nigerian, Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leonean, 16.6%, Senegamian, Guinean, 7.5%.
The thing about the funny thing is, I'm 5% Senegambian, but that's most likely where that L3F1B1 came from.
Mm-hmm. The Congolese and Southern East African 14.2%. So he fits the bill of your arbitrary Israelite shit you guys came up with, man.
Exactly. He has the phenotype for it too. He looked black.
But y'all said he got something wrong with his DNA. Yeah, it's something wrong with you guys' brains. You understand? That's his autosomal.
You got the rest of it?
Yes. Angolese, Congolese, 10.2%. Southern East African, 1.5%. Broadly Congolese and Southern East African, 2.5%. Broadly Sub-Saharan African, 0.3%. European is 20.8%, which this is the portion that they haven't yet to show. They don't show their European. Northwestern European, 17.5%. British and Irish, 6.2%.
All right. The British, I know, comes from my mother's father, he was white and Native American. So I got a little bit of Native American in me, and that's where that comes from. The French comes from my paternal great-grandfather, who was apparently French and German Ashkenazi. But the Scandinavian is likely from, I mean, what makes sense to me is the battle axe culture, because you got R1B up there, and that's in Scandinavia. So they probably migrated down from that region down south somewhere. And the next, I think, is one more part which is going to show pretty much the Ashkenazi.
Yep. Broadly Northwestern European, 5.6%. Ashkenazi Jewish, 3.2%.
See, we told you, family, there was Jews in their group.
And I got some Filipino too.
I told you niggas, man. We got shooters from every angle.
Shooters on my squad. There's some shooters on my squad. If we holding on that work, then that pussy get rocked. There's some shooters on my squad. There's some shooters on my squad. All my niggas shoot like Ray. Call them shooting guards.
Yeah, that's like,
I think it should be one more thing that show the admixture date.
All right, hold on.
I think Abu also has some Filipino.
There you go.
As well.
Yeah, ancestry timeline. How many generations ago was your most recent ancestors for each population. 4 to 7, Ashkenazi Jewish. 4
That's
to
my
7.
great grandfather.
4 to 7, French and German, Nigerian.
That
4 to
was
7.
French, Ashkenazi Jewish,
Indigenous American, 5 to 8. British and Irish, 5 to 8.
That's Daddy Charlie, my grandmother's father.
Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leonean, 5 to 8.
Hey, but like I told them when we had the so-called private meeting with them, what does this say? How many generations? Cap, 8 generations for autosomal. When I had the private discussion, we had the private discussion with them, 6 to 8 generations. When y'all gonna get it? Now, if they go to their 23andMe and they go through this, they're gonna see 8 generations or 8 plus. Max is 10. When they gonna get this? A year.
Oh yeah, they his own DNA said Castile is a Khazar. Guys with G haplogroup concentrated in former Khazar territory. Gotta love it, man.
Wait, they're gonna call James a Khazar in this video?
No, I think he. I don't know if they did say that, but I think he's just poking fun at them because they probably would say some shit like that.
Yeah.
What we call Y chromosome Adam, and then those 3 children are his descendants, I should say, his progeny, would later on evolve into all of the different haplogroups we see today. That's how I explain it. So if you look at the phylogenetic tree,
that's how I explain it. In other words, that's all I got for you, bro. That's all I got for you. What did he say? He said, yeah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth got the same haplogroup as their dad, but the rest of the world DNA is broken off from them. Now, based on his model, and I heard him say this, that Noah had to have been like 250,000 years ago or something like that for his model to fit, right? So that's foolishness because, I mean, Japheth, Shem, and Ham are direct descendants of Noah, right? So when he calls Teotw Ministries Japheth, how are we Japheth when Japheth, Shem, and Ham got the exact same haplogroup because they are what their father is? All right. I mean, this is the inconsistencies the brother had, but let me continue with my pop.
Wait, that's the inconsistency? But you just heard yourself 250,000 years ago. All haplogroups go back to one fucking man. All of them.
Exactly. Even in the secular science, it all goes back to
But
one
these
person.
are people talking about, so we understand the data. Get your goofy ass on somewhere, man. You don't understand the data.
PowerPoint.
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king?
That was me, by the way.
I'm gonna get back to this one. But this is an interesting one here. As a matter of fact, yeah. Well, I'm gonna play that video instead. You gotta hear this. Hold on.
Classic. Hey, y'all got too much dead space. Y'all gotta start speaking in between parts, man. Y'all gotta start speaking. Like,
no, this is them being quiet. I thought.
No, not y'all. I'm talking about them. They being quiet.
No,
right
no,
now.
that's what I mean. That's them being quiet.
Yeah, they need to say something. This is your brain on fucking drugs.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does?
So listen to this one.
Last time.
White dudes, but it turns out they have a secret skin doctrine.
This is your brain.
But yeah, that's the moderate side, so-called moderates. But yeah, that's another thing Garfield said. He said that we believe that Yap Gang believes only E1B1A is the Israelite marker. I don't remember saying that in any of my videos. Do y'all recall any?
That was never said by any of us. We never said that. The argument is
And our
Yeah, we caught
hypothesis,
Garfield
which is
on
a
that. I
hypothesis,
called him
we're
on a
not
live
saying
on that.
we're omniscient. We never made that claim. And our model, via our hypothesis, states that Abraham could have been E1B1. If he was E1B1, then the children.
You eating a bunch of crunch, man.
My bad. I thought I was muted.
That is a possibility through the mechanism of rapid radiation. We said this 1,000 fucking times, and Gozy in his what's that guy's name?
93, I think.
Yeah, 93 did a whole video trying to break down what I said and misrepresented it. So they can't say they wasn't aware of it because you've done a video about it and broadcasted it on your channel. Garfield put that on his channel. So it's like, you can't say that you don't know our position. You're purposely misrepresenting us. At this point,
people
you are
clearly
purposely
watch.
misrepresenting us.
Yeah, people clearly watch our content, especially your content. So
we're gonna pause right there. We're gonna pause right there. So, okay, people misunderstood him, so he just clarified his position, right? What was his position? His position was that possibly Noah was E1B1. I mean, E1B.
Wait, Noah.
E1B1. You were right.
Noah
No. I'm sorry. It was.
He don't fucking listen.
Jacob was E1B.
No, it wasn't Jacob either, dumbass. No.
And
that's what I brought up last
possible,
night.
according to radiation, right? Rapid radiation
So
mutation.
just how much they pay attention.
That I'm sorry. Let me get this right.
Fucking idiot.
Barely listen.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do that again. All right. Isaac.
Low IQ.
Isaac was.
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king?
Is this your fucking king, man?
I brought this up last night with this nonsense.
Jacob was E1B1A.
Stumbling over their
and
words.
possibly Esau is E1B1B, or some of the other sons.
I never said that one of the sons of E1B1A and Esau E1B1B. I teach against that.
Yeah, he's getting that from Second Exodus and all them other cats that say Israel's E1B1A and Esau is E1B1B, or Israel's E1B1A and Ishmael's E1B1B. We don't say
nigga misrepresent every fucking thing and don't give a damn. Don't give a damn, man.
Man, can he listen? Like, come on now. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, Capital. Hold on, let me get it together.
Through rapid
Harlem Hospital
radiation
giving
mutation
beds out.
became
Now,
E1B1B, and that
Hospital was
maybe
giving
E1B1A, E1B1B is Israel through rapid radiation mutation from
he's struggling.
that direct line of Isaac.
I thought he was in IT.
The problem here, right? This is the book. This is more horse manure that's shoveling in your face if you don't listen carefully, right? So what he's basically saying is, in this scenario, the expectation that mutations happen over thousands of years is not going to apply. And that rapid radiation mutation caused some descendants of Isaac to mutate rapidly. So that's why E1B1A, E1B1B can potentially be Israel. Now, he done defied, let's say, the basic laws of haplogroups.
No, I didn't.
Basic law of haplogroup.
There is no law of haplogroup.
You are what your
I
father
thought it was
is.
theoretical.
Jacob and Esau are direct descendants of Isaac.
These niggas
Jacob
don't
and
understand
Esau
the information.
must, according to the haplogroup theory, must have the same haplogroup because mutations on the Y chromosome do not happen rapidly. That's the whole idea behind this thing, right? Is that the mutation doesn't.
No, actually, mutations happen randomly. Dumbass. Mutations happen randomly, and you can have a rapid radiation. Rajiv Khan, since y'all keep quoting, Rajiv Khan said his own cluster,
he comes from an own star cluster that was rapid radiation. R1b had a rapidly spit out subclade. So that is a viable thing, dumbass. You guys is goofy, man.
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king?
Doesn't happen rapidly. It happens over thousands or tens of thousands of years. So it's technically illegal. It's illegal to argue that the descendants of Isaac
Are we in law
or Jacob
He's just
had
making shit up
mutations
as he
along the way.
goes.
None of the 12 sons of Jacob had any mutations according to the haplogroup theory.
This nigga was clearly lying.
Years, not a single generation. And the 12 sons are within, most of them are within a few years of each other. So how does the mutation happen along the bloodline of any of the 12? How does the mutation from Isaac and Jacob and Esau be different from their father when they're twins?
Wait, are they admitting that their haplogroup G, which goes back to Europeans? Because you say, how could they be different? That's what we've been telling y'all. How could you be different than your father, dumbass? And yes, we do say they will all be E1, B1 in our model.
Mm-hmm.
It's a model.
Yep.
And then through rapid radiation, they would have split out certain clades, maybe downstream E1, B1B and E1, B1A, because we're trying to reconcile the Western Central Africans that have this claim of being Israel, right? The people that you claim to be teaching, right? The people that you say, oh, they Israel. Well, we got to reconcile that shit somehow, jackass. I'm gonna let y'all continue to talk. Well, let me get this article. You know,
they're twins. How can twins have a different mutation? How can their descendants within a generation or two have mutations? His theory is flawed. His model is flawed. He's a narcissistic, egocentric person who just can't accept the fact that he is in error. All right? I mean, come on now. Some of this stuff we just we're going to DNA 101 here. 101. Minister Yacob.
Sounds like he understands haplogroup.
Well, I mean, it's already been proven that they're liars, right? They're deceivers. They're working along with urban apologists. They're working along with Catholics, all to destroy the awakening. That's what this is about, because it's not about scholarship like they say, right? Because there's no truth there. And then, as Minister Teotw has shown in the previous video, they admit it was an hypothesis, an educated guess. So nothing they say has any validity because it's an hypothesis. It's a theory. It hasn't been proven yet.
Here's the definition of a hypothesis, family. An assumption or concession made for the sake of argument. An interpretation of a practical situation or condition taken as the ground for action. I mean, the brother, y'all saw it. Y'all heard it yourself. We played his video, right? The one on rapid radiation. He said he was misunderstood. He said it was a hypothesis and he might not be right. But he has all this energy for Teotw Ministries when he's shoveling BS. He's shoveling BS. It's nothing but his theory. And I'm not talking a science.
Right, Naphtali. Destroying the awakening while trying to validate it. Yeah, I'm trying to make a credible argument for Western Central Africans, which you guys are not. Just saying they slaves is not a credible argument. And this video, you're going to demarcate majority of Western Central Africans because the majority of Western Central Africans have E. Good job. Now, real quick, let me show y'all this article real quick to explain to you guys rapid radiation. He violated a law. What law? You guys just make shit up. Y'all see this by Sam Rose in the biomedcentral.com, BMC.
One of the three men fathered most Western Europeans by Sam Rose. Since a recent study published in Investigative Genetics has shown that the genetic lineage of most Western Europeans started from just 1 to 3 men, sparking many and varied online discussions. The study led by Chris Tyler Smith involved producing a model to investigate. Look, you see what they did? Produced a model, right? To investigate the expansion of Neolithic genetic lineages throughout Africa and Europe. Both Africa and Western Europe have a predominant genetic lineage or haplogroup. And genetic and archaeological evidence show that both of these haplogroups expanded in their respective populations during the Neolithic from about 10,000 BC to 3000 BC. The haplogroups investigated in this study are variations of the Y chromosome only present in men. Using advanced sequencing tools, it was therefore possible to produce a model of population expansion by fatherhood, right? Because that's what Y chromosomes show you. This is why the predominant African haplotype E1B1A shows an expansion starting from approximately 40 men over about 12,000 years. The European haplotype R1B shows a rapid expansion over a few generations. He's violating a law. He violating a law. You motherfuckers don't read this shit, bro. It's obvious. Y'all don't read a damn thing, man. What does it say? Started from just 1 to 3 men. Central online magazine Biome spoke to Chris Tyler Smith to get his take on what the article is telling us. When asked about why the population in Europe may have expanded so rapidly, he suggested that in Europe, the starting number of farmers may have been smaller, so they were fewer Y lineages, and the farming package perhaps included several different crops and domesticated animals may have been well suited to the environment, so the farmers could increase rapidly in number. These fascinating findings have been a big topic of online discussion. Hotspots for this include popular Deniki's anthropology blog and online forum /dot with conversation threads ranging from technical ins and outs of the method of whether or not the article backs up the Bible story of Noah and the flood. While we couldn't possibly comment on this, it's great to see that this research has prompted such lively debate. So there is a mechanism known in genetics as rapid radiation, and it can spit out a multitude of haplogroups in a short time span, right? And even if you look at the chart, you can even make that argument for, you guess it, E1B1A, because the minimum range of its expansion from 40 people is 2,000. The maximum is 24,000 years, right? So let's keep playing this video. I'll give you guys another source. But let's let this video play because I don't want to be up all night. All right.
Scientific theory is a guessing game. And he's trying to figure it out. And he's trying to apply his model to make it fit. And his model is dumb. And anyone with a sound thinking mind can look at his model and say, this is crap. Same thing with Abu. Abu is pushing a faulty model. They're using terms to distract you, and they don't even understand the basics of inheritance. This is what my brother and I be telling you all. We have a basic understanding because in computers, we use the same, in programming, we use the same terminology a lot of times. So things must be line upon line.
You don't use fucking rapid radiation on computers. Stop the bullshit, man. You don't use terms like rapid radiation, haplogroup, haplotype, introgression. You don't use those type of terms. Parsimony. You don't use those type of terms. Stop playing out. Yeah, autosomal, nucleic acid. When the last time you heard about that in a goddamn computer? Shut your dumb ass up, man.
I've never heard any other person in IT say that because I'm in IT, I know everything about genetics or I understand genetics. Like, bro, I would not go to an IT person and tell them to give me heart surgery or something. Like, come on.
This nigga was clearly lying.
Another goddamn lie.
And if you buy into that,
we're about to close this up. I'm gonna just show you.
You buy into this? What? You a zombie, right?
Yeah, you a zombie. You a vegetable.
what I was talking about here. Okay. Now, the brother said Noah, Japheth, and Ham got the same haplogroup. He can't, right? He can't say anything else. I mean, he got to say that. But Put and Canaan got the same as Ham, right? Magog. All of these guys have the same haplogroup. So let's assume, based off of his crazy theory, that there was a mutation along the way.
This goes right back into the whole thing about, oh, if Israel's haplogroup E, then everybody on the planet should be haplogroup E. Okay. So you want to go by autosomal, Teo. You believe that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are autosomally 100% sub-Saharan African, and that you always carry 50% of your father's DNA. So that will mean Terah, Nahor, Serg, Ru, Peleg, Eber, Shelah, and Arphaxad and Shem are 100% sub-Saharan African, since we always pass down 50% of the father's autosomal DNA. This would also mean that Japheth and Ham are also sub-Saharan African, and going all the way back to Noah and going all the way back to Adam and Eve. Is Adam and Eve 100% sub-Saharan African? Or all the people from Adam to Noah, and then from Noah to Shem, Ham, and Japheth, are they all sub-Saharan African, since you go with the autosomal understanding of, we pass down 50% of our autosomal DNA to our father, and that doesn't change apparently? Or is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob autosomally different from Shem? Or is Shem, Ham, and Japheth autosomally different? Are they autosomally different? Is Noah autosomally different? Is Adam and Eve autosomally different? Or are they all supposed to be sub-Saharan African because the Israelites are, and Israel goes to the line of Shem, and then from Shem to Noah, and then his brothers, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and then back to Adam? I'd just like to know, how does this autosomal thing works in the scheme of humanity, and the Shemites and the Hamites and the Japhites? How does it split apart? How does it become different when it comes to autosomal DNA? Also, one last thing. Are the Ishmaelites, the Midianites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, are they all autosomally sub-Saharan African? How do you know that you're not a Moabite or that you're not an Edomite? Anyways, carry on.
Wait. The generations between Arphaxad, Selah, Eber, Peleg, Ru, Serug, Nahor, and Terah, right? Let's give each one of them approximately 100 years each, right? It doesn't even meet the criteria for mutation, right? Let alone from Terah to Abraham, from Terah to Lot. That's one generation between Terah and Lot, right? Between Terah, Abraham, there's one generation. Abraham is between Terah and Isaac. So Jacob, I'm sorry. Let me. The opportunity for mutation is not here, according to traditional haplogroup science. So every last one of these red lines, they all theoretically should potentially be the same haplogroup. Rapid radiation mutation is unlikely in this scenario.
First, he said, "Oh, it's not going to happen, right? It's a violation of a law that he made up in his damn head." Watch this. This is why we lean on the sources to formulate our arguments. These guys lean on their own faulty understanding of the shit. They don't want to study this stuff. They don't want to take out the man hours and sit down and let me read this. Let me try to grasp this. Let me learn these terms. Let me get a terminal knowledge first before I open my damn mouth. You understand? They don't want to do that. So I'm gonna be quick with this. Let me just go to my PowerPoint where I shared this. Because I was playing around with the idea of people that could possibly be. Let me just get into it. Right, watch this. So this is on the Wikipedia article E1B1B, right? Just open my PowerPoint. Boom. There you go. You can see it. There's the reference there. Wikipedia.com, haplogroup E1B1B, 2018, right?
It says, in fact, it has been calculated that EV13 emerged from EM78 some 7,800 years ago. So what's that? 7,800 years, 2,000, about 6,000 BC, or somewhere around there, right? It says when Neolithic farmers were advancing into the Balkans in the Danubian basin. Furthermore, all the modern members of EV13 descend from a common ancestor who lived approximately 5,500 years ago. And all of them also descend from a later common ancestor who carried the CTS 5856 mutation. That ancestor would have lived about 4,100 years ago during the Bronze Age. Almost immediately afterwards. I want y'all to hear this because they act like this shit can't happen. You know why they act like? Because they didn't sit down and fucking study this stuff. They didn't go buy the material. They didn't buy the books. They didn't spend man hours reading and understanding and grasping this stuff. No, they didn't, right? It says CTS 5856 split into 6 subclades, then branched off into even more subclades in the space of a few generations. Let me read that again. CTS 5856 split into 6 subclades, then branched off into even more subclades in the space of a few generations. In just a few centuries, that very minor EV13 lineage had started an expansion process that would turn it into one of Europe's most widespread paternal lineages and reach far beyond the borders of Europe itself, also spreading to the eastern edge of the Mediterranean, the Caucasus, the Kurdistan, Iran, and Siberia. Hibachi, man. Hibachi. We know the material. You don't. They all go back to an ancestor that lived 4,100 years ago. That's 2100 BCE. Right? And this branch that existed around 2100 BCE was able to split off into subclades within a few centuries. That's rapid radiation. They were able to do it through what? You usually see this tied to what? Agrarian people, people that are farmers, right? People that are moving, migrating, and they're farmers. Through population boom. Because when you have this subsistence strategy of farming, you become an agriculturalist, you're able to support larger populations because you're able to feed them. All right, let's go back to this idiocy that's known as Teotw Vaginal Ministries.
See, they're not even a real ministry. Let's be real. They're just a cult.
The ministry, the ministerial ministry, the vaginal ministry.
Okay. I mean, is there a small chance that Abraham mutated from Terah? Let's say he did. Okay, and let's say that Abraham is Eve. All right. Isaac, Jacob, and Esau should be the same as Abraham, theoretically. All right.
They would be. They'll be E markers.
Look, when they are pushing this stupid narrative, we don't agree with it, and they won't leave us alone because we won't back them up.
This nigga was clearly lying.
Probability is that Shem, Japheth, and Ham are all in Africa. Now, were there mutations? We assume that Aura and G, according to modern theory, because a lot of Gentiles have Aura, let's say, that we assume that's the European gene. When in reality, there's the out of Africa theory that these brothers don't agree with, which they do not promote, but it is the standard. The out of Africa theory is the standard in modern haplogroup science.
R did not come out of Africa.
R did not come out of Africa, boy.
CT
my boy
came out of Africa. CT is Eurasian Adam, and then through a long process, CT R would be a downstream of CT.
We all, yes, our ancient forefathers may have came out of Africa, right? But that doesn't mean your haplogroup originated in Africa. You're being very facetious. Again, you're playing on the ignorance of African Americans. This is why we're trying to teach y'all basic and core concepts of genetics so you guys can get it on your own and you don't need to look for no guru on the internet, right? We are the ones pushing literacy. These guys are pushing idiocy.
They just want to indoctrinate you, keep them patron numbers high. That's it. But anyone can look up a distribution map of haplogroup G, see where it originated from. It's not going to be in Africa. It's not at all, right?
It's the standard, and they don't agree with it.
Oh, let me go back to. I heard them say
a
something. Let me make
narcissistic,
sure I heard
egocentric
them right.
person disagreeing with the, when in reality there's the out of Africa theory. Now, were they mutate that Abraham is E? All right. Isaac, Jacob, and Esau should be the same as Abraham, theoretically. All right. So, I mean, look, they are pushing this stupid narrative. We don't agree with it, and they won't leave us alone because we won't back them up. E is not Israel. The probability is that Shem, Japheth, and Ham are all in Africa.
Said E is not Israel.
Threw all y'all under the bus.
Majority of his audience is haplogroup E because majority of his audience is African American. Majority of your audience is African American. You just said, "Oh, well, they're not Israel." That contradicts your whole work and your whole mission that you claim you have.
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king?
And his people just eating it up. Don't even know it. That's the sad part.
God damn.
Now, were they mutations? We assume that aura and G, according to modern theory, because a lot of Gentiles have aura, let's say that we assume that's the European gene. When in reality, there's the out of Africa theory that these brothers don't agree with, which they do not promote, but it is the standard. The out of Africa theory is the standard in modern haplogroup science. It's the standard, and they don't agree with it. So once again, we have a narcissistic, egocentric person disagreeing with the scientific community as a whole. Come on now. I rest my case.
I mean, not really.
Wait, hold on. Well, let me say this. I'm the one disagreeing with the scientific community as a whole. You niggas disagree with Y-DNA, which is the standard of tracing paternal lineage. But I'm the one disagreeing with the scientific community. That was that was the Jedi mind trick. I'm the one disagreeing with the scientific community when my thoughts and opinions are congruent with the scientific community on race. You guys sit up here and say, "Oh, I can't be related to white people." Go tell a geneticist that. That's the dumbest shit you can say to a geneticist.
They'll literally laugh in your face. Like
You don't agree with scientists. You don't. All we do is bring out articles and information and we direct the people there. Because again, our job is not to convince anybody. Our job is to get people familiar with it so they can learn this shit themselves. See, y'all used to the church setting. I got to go to the pastor for everything. We don't want to create no goddamn followers. We want to create leaders. We want to create people that are able to understand this stuff and break it down themselves. That's the difference. Yep. That's the difference. What the hell wrong with y'all, man?
Minister Jacob.
So once again, when it comes to truth, this is a truth ministry, where there be the scriptures, where there be history, where there be science, where there be DNA. This is a truth ministry, and we're going to confront your lies. Don't think we're not going to confront your lies. We're going to confront
This nigga was clearly lying.
The Congo boys, just like we confronted the Mormons. We're going to confront your lies. Now,
you bitch ass niggas don't confront a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Until you face us in the ring, you ain't confronted shit, nigga. You trying to save face because you probably took a hit in your patrons and your fucking money dropping. Go get a job, you fucking bums. You worried about a ministry online ministry? What a fucking bum. Go work, nigga. Go earn the money, nigga, by the sweat of your brow, right? You niggas is bitches. You niggas is hoes. You niggas will not show up and do a debate formally because the arguments you make is bullshit. You know it. We know it. All of us know it, man. You don't have an argument congruent with science. None of your arguments are congruent with science. First of all, y'all speaking absolutes too damn much to be congruent with science. I got undeniable proof that Israel is in sub-Saharan Africa. What scientist talks like that? You don't even give yourself leeway to be wrong. We don't speak in absolutes. We say, look, according to the evidence, this is our model. This is what we built. This makes sense according to X, Y, and Z. You guys just get on there and say, family? And here's the thing. You guys don't believe in the Bible. The Bible don't say shit about this race code that you done made the fuck up here in America. When I say you, I'm talking about your German ancestors. Nothing you say is congruent with science. You disregard Y-DNA lineages. You disregard mtDNA lineages. You don't understand autosomal DNA. You said it's not ancestry. Yes, it is fucking ancestry. That's why you have percentages. Dumb. Nothing about you guys is scientific. Nothing. You didn't show any sources of information. You just gave us pictures. You niggas are some picture page ass niggas, man. And again, this is another showing of how you guys cannot compete with us intellectually. You can't deal with us in the ring because if you came with that for 15 minutes straight, you're going to get your ass kicked. Right? You just want to pontificate. Demonstration always beats conversation. Always beats conversation. Every time. But that's okay. We'll be here to smack the fire out y'all every time you guys make these goofy ass claims, man. Right? That's right, nigga. I am the great adversary, and I came to bring pain. What you said? Pain, fire, and brimstone. I don't remember saying that. I thought I said fire and brimstone, man. You messed up my quote, man. Maybe I did say pain, man. But I am the great adversary. I am a Hashatan, man. I'm here to kick y'all ass. You know what I'm saying? And rain fire and brimstone on you niggas. Hibachi, man. Thank you, bro. Go get a fucking job. Do something, man. You fucking worried about losing your money on the internet, bro.
Now, all of y'all that want to follow them lies,
they're not even real pastors.
Because these are the last days. And the Bible prophesied that.
I want to hear that bullshit. Shut the fuck up. We done with you, man. All right, man. Any closing remarks, man, as we close the casket on these bitch ass niggas?
Good show. It was a good show. Keep exposing this cult, you know. These stalling commies, you know.
Hey, we'll be waiting for you niggas when y'all ready to jump y'all goofy asses in the ring and get 15 minutes of a beatdown. When you ready to get punched on, we here for you.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Hey.
Yeah, they said that they're ready to, that they're here, that they're going to debunk any false teaching that people say. Let's do it in the art of face-to-face debate. Let's do it that way. Debunk us that way, instead of us having to do video after video on you. Like, let's just end it with a debate. Come on now. We can end all this with a
Hey, do me a favor. Sure.
You breaking up, man.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do me a favor. I want you to play the Teotw Ministries song in its entirety.
What's the tail? The
you
intro?
know what it is?
No, what is it?
No, bro.
Oh, I know what it is.
Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle
Okay,
Ruckus,
all right, thank
no
you.
relation.
Make sure at the end of the
I want to sing y'all a brand new song I just wrote called Don't Trust Them New Niggas Over There. Sing along if you know the words. Don't trust them new niggas over there, leaving they nigga essence in the air. Them happy, nappy head niggas with the fingers on the trigger. Don't trust them new niggas over there. Don't trust them big nostrils over yonder. They suck up so much air it'll make you wonder. Don't trust them new niggas with their spotty little nigga figures. Don't trust them new niggas over there.
Hibachi, yeah.
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 For now.